Blackson in the hizzle off a shizzle bizzle. We got an excellent show here today. Yeah, we got Zanzi Deacon already in here. Twin, what's going on? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, waiting on Zanzi, waiting on MD20, and waiting on MD20. Got Yanga traveling, so we had some extra news, so I want to hold off with Yanga. It'll be starting another league. I know what's going on with this league. It's called Lions Den, so I do wanna wait until I comment on that. What's good? What's good, then, Cat? What's good? Yeah, man. So I'm ready to get this thing started. Ready to get this thing started. Let me tell you, a lot going on. A lot going on in the arena. Boom. Deacon, Twin, Ben Cat, Zanzi, what's going on? What's going on? So yeah, we're waiting for all the guests to arrive. Waiting for all the guests to arrive here. Yeah, man. So yep. We're here again, another day, another beautiful day, another beautiful Dizzy in the Trizzy. I'm ready to get this thing started, y'all. I'm ready to get this thing started. So like I said, let me give a shout out. So yeah, I guess we were going to talk about, see, one of the people, either Zanzi or Trevor, one of y'all going to have to inform me on what's going on today. I remember, Trevor, you're gonna have to, definitely fill us in. It's almost, I'm early, so it's all good. I'm early. You know how I do. I like to get things rolling at an early time. But with that being said, I do want to figure out what's going on. What's going on with the Tizop, the topic, the Tizopic. You know what I'm saying? Stable. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, so yeah, we're waiting on the guest. So send the link. Oh, that's right. I forgot to send the link. That would help, right? Sorry about that, Zanzi. All right, man. All right, let's do this. Man. I'm ready. All right, we just sent Zanzi the link. So yeah, this should be interesting. Yeah, like I said, me and okay, so there goes Zanzi. Oh, Zanzi, what's good, brother?
Hey, what's up?
Oh, nothing, man. Just waiting for everybody to get it here, man. I can't even remember why Trevor even called you and MD out. I can't even remember, so I'm hopefully.
Because the chat I was saying is argument of saying that CT couldn't be a cause in the events surrounding the President Live.
Yeah,
because he was tired that we tried to find excuses for people committing horrible acts. Now, that's not an argument. That's just a feeling that he has on the issue.
I know.
So that's all I said, and then he asked me to come and explain that. I know. So more. That's all I said. Local way, I guess. So that's why I'm here.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So, what's up, Zanzi?
Very good in yourself.
I'm good. So, can we, Blackson? Can we stop doing this? First of all, making it seem like, like I'm afraid of anybody, because that's could be nothing further than the truth. But earlier, Blackson know what I'm talking about. Earlier in his half-naked rant today, he tried to make it seem like I was afraid of UNMD, like I was biting off more than I could chew. I don't know where that came from. Listen, I love arguments, so it ain't no big deal with me.
I know. It's just all hype, man. But we know you ain't scared of nobody. That's what you see, Marina, baby.
But here was the thing with it. First of all, you said something because I didn't know that you were going. So you guys sure you can hear me because I don't even have my headset on.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yep.
All right. Because first of all, I went back and listened to the live because I didn't know you were on for so long. I thought you had just came on.
Yeah.
And so when I went back and listened to it, you said something about SVDL and the Lions Den. Solar thinking about getting in bed with them?
Oh, no, not getting in bed. They called out the league. So they want to do a debate league for league. From what I understand, that's why I wanted to wait until Yanga got on here because like I said, I got the call late at night and Solar was excited and something about they want to go league for league.
But based on
wants to challenge SVDL.
Based on what though? Because all they do is Bible debates.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's why I was like, but you know, you can't tell Bible people. Well, I mean, Bible thumpers.
So let me give you the title. Let me give you the title of their last debate that they had on that channel. Because I subscribe to the Lions Den because I know. I like JJ 7000. He doesn't think that I like him, but I do. I just wish he would be more coherent when he's talking. But the last title of their debate was "Is Jesus a nigga?" I'm not doing nothing like that. I'm not doing nothing like that. That's stupid.
You know what? That's why I want to wait until Yanga gets on here because I don't really know the details. Like I said, I got a call from Solar and Yanga. Like I was dead asleep. Like it was past 11 o'clock. So Solar was excited, and all I could make out was Lions Den going against SVDL, and then that was it. And then I got a little bit more of the details from Yanga, but Yanga's traveling right now, so he's more coherent to what's going on than I am. So, like I said, I got the gist of, like I said, 11 o'clock, and then this morning, and then he said, well, I'll be on there to explain the rest, but then he got delayed on his travel, so yeah. So I said, well, you know what we'll do our planned show tonight, which is you, Zanzi, and MD, and then we'll come back to that when Yanga is able to explain it more in depth, and maybe sort of can jump on because I don't know the details. I just know that they called out SVDL.
So look at all the debates I'm looking at.
I don't got no
Christian salvation versus Israelite salvation. The biblical definition of sin. Which is better, for black people, my out or the Bible? What kind of bullshit is that?
So then let me ask you a question. Why would Minister Inky be on that channel? Because it was.
Well, him and Sonnet are probably beefing again, so you never know. So he just needs a platform.
Okay.
That could be it. That's just me. That's complete conjecture, but
right. I got you. But why would he be on a Bible debating league, or is that what Inky does?
I mean, minister. You would assume he's some type of minister.
that looks like a strong indicator indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Like I said, you're the one who knows, Brother Trevor. I know nothing about it because I'm not into Bible debate leagues. I'm not into Quran. In fact, you saw my live today.
Yeah.
So I feel like we can take this thing because I was in a chat today with some people in a more international platform, and you have some people drinking the Zelensky Kool-Aid, so that's what I want to go against. I want to go against these people who really believe hook, line, and sinker this whole mainstream media narrative. That's what I want to go against.
You must be off today.
Yeah, I was off today, yes, sir. And then I got to go to the dentist on Wednesday, so I feel I'm going to get one work day in and go to this, and hopefully this week is going to be a little slow for me because they got my appointment in the middle of the week. So,
and like I say, I don't have no issue with JJ 7000. Like I actually really like him. I just wish he would, as old as he is, act more, respectable towards people and stuff like that. I never had no run-ins with him. I'm just saying, like his conduct on the panels that I see, it's kind of ridiculous. But I would love to get them outside of the Bible, though. I mean, like that's
That's what I'm a little.
That's
everybody outside the Bible, man.
But let's look at it this way though. The Bible debates is what sells. Solar not crazy. He knows.
To who?
No, but you look across. Like I say, I watch Tony Harvin. That's all they do is biblical debates. That's why they won't let me on there because I don't want to debate the Bible. It's like
the numbers. So it's good for who though?
Numbers wise, anytime you do a biblical debate is always going to give you more numbers. I bet if Solar was to put back all the old debates up, the ones that did the most numbers are something that was Israelite based. I bet you. Because people just love you. People can't get rid of their religion. They can't give up that religion.
I just want to debate things that'll keep me awoke. I'm a truck driver. I can't dabble with things that put me to sleep, man. I don't things that make me.
So Zanzi, what's your issue with me?
I don't have an issue with you. I just pointed out that
with my stance. I know you don't have no issue with me.
I don't even have an issue with your stance per se. I had an issue with the argument you were putting forward, which is that you don't believe that CTE could have had would be a cause in the murder-suicide of the Benoit case because you're tired of people finding excuses for terrible people doing terrible things. Now,
that was one of my positions, but you had to listen. You had to listen to what I said before that. I said Blackson has to be able to prove that. He can't prove that CTE was the cause.
Well,
it's already been proven.
Again,
no, it has not been. That's what I'm saying, man. You painting this false narrative that has been proven. Just because they said he had CTE, they never came out and said
that's why I was.
By the way, CTE was the cause of this.
That's why I was asking the other day, and I don't have the impression it's been clarified from what I've heard.
Never.
Is the question, is CTE the only cause, or is CTE a cause?
Blackson is standing on the cause.
Right. So, okay. Then, I don't want to try and give positions away. I'm not even a judge, so it doesn't matter. But to be like in life, nothing has one singular cause most of the time, right? Now, the argument I think would be satisfyingly answered if Blackson was able to prove that it was a determining cause, right? Maybe not the only cause, but one of the main cause, right? And in order to do that, he would have to prove that this pattern of behavior, he would have to prove multiple things, but one of the things that he would have to prove is that this pattern of behavior is consistent with CTE. He would have to prove that Benoit had CTE, right? Mm-hmm. And he would have to prove that this was the main cause, right? So that of all the factors that could have influenced those events, the effects of CTE, right? Because CTE in itself is a disease, but what we're really looking at is the effects of CTE, right? So we would have to prove that the effect of CTE were the main cause that led to this event, right? Now, so you'd have to be able to have supporting evidence of Benoit's case. Did he have CTE? You'd have to be able to have supporting evidence, so research about what are the effects of CTEs. And to see if this is consistent, well, you have to see if the research say those are consistent behavior with CTEs. And one of the ways to do that outside of research data would be with case studies, right? And that's something that you've pointed out last time, Trevor, that you would have to find someone that committed those acts, those similar acts, and that those acts and one other case would have been could have been attributed to CTE, right? So
And you won't find
did that understand that right?
Yes, but you won't find it.
Well,
So
I
you're saying
found
that I was-
some right
Go
now.
ahead,
I can list them to you, but I was curious, right? Because I don't know much about the case, so I researched a little bit about the Benoit case just to see, and it is confirmed, right? The autopsy revealed that his brain had damage consistent with CTE.
Yeah, we're not denying that. Nobody's
that's fine.
denying it.
I never heard your position on that. I'm just saying that's something I discovered in the last days because I researched.
Nobody's denying that. And listen, because as and Blackson has this is another thing I got to clear up with Blackson. Blackson has this belief that he was my favorite wrestler, so that's why I'm all up in arms. No, he wasn't. And as a matter of fact, when it happened, I stopped watching for 5 to 6 years because I was just like, I don't want to be associated with this anymore. But it wasn't until after he died and everybody was piling on that former wrestler and Harvard grad Chris Nowinski asked to examine his brain, just because it was a colleague that he worked with and everything like that. And then that's when they were like, oh yeah, he has CTE. And
that was the point I was about to bring up, right? This autopsy was done by what could be called a biased party, right? It was people close to him. So that would be an argument against.
Yeah, I'm not listening to Venkat because in Venkat lives in an imaginary world where nobody should be held responsible for anything they did. Anytime they do something wrong, let's just blame something else. And Venkat should be religious, but he's not. He's that type of person. And because God forbid anybody do something and they be held responsible for what they do, like that's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. And I bet you, if his name wasn't Chris Benoit, you wouldn't have been feeling this way. 1 second. Let me go get my coffee. 1 second.
So, Zanzi, okay, so the second part, we definitely, I guess we did the same research. They said not only did Chris Benoit have CTE, he had the worst case known of CTE. But I'm going to say that. So I'm glad that we did look that up.
I haven't seen his brain scans. I've seen the brain scans of other people that I've researched, though. And I was surprised to see that it looks a lot like Alzheimer what it does to the brain.
Yeah.
It turns your fucking brain into a sponge, man. That's terrifying.
And that's what it was. They said that it wasn't dementia. We keep saying dementia. They said he had the brain of an 85-year-old Alzheimer patient. So now you tell me, what 85-year-old, and I feel like I'm doing this debate now, what 85-year-old Alzheimer patient have you ever heard of do something like this?
Okay, so, well, let me put that into context, right? It looks like Alzheimer because if you look at the physical brain affected by both.
I love you, Venkat, you know that.
By both those diseases, you'll see that it's the same thing, right? It's an atrophy of parts of the brain that basically makes holes in the brain and turn it into Swiss cheddar, right? The thing is, Alzheimer and CTE, they don't affect the same places in the brain. So the effect on the behavior is different. So you're very right that an 85 years old patient of Alzheimer and someone affected by CTE don't display the same behavioral issues, right? Now, I found two people that were autopsied, their brain were studied, and they had very, very severe case of CTE, right? That committed acts that I think would be comparable to what Chris Benoit did. So, but just before we get into that, though, Trevor, I'd like you to explain to me what makes what Chris Benoit did singular and unique in your mind.
Well, first of all, it's because of the debate we're having. So I'm not going to give you, because I got a couple of smoking guns that I
don't give away anything that's strategic, of course.
Oh my God, my therapist friend is in the chat, man.
Oh, let me link. Okay, let me throw a link.
And funny thing, hey, Blackson, make sure, hey, Mia, turn your camera off. because you got some sickos on here. Turn your camera off. Not on this panel, but just as watching the show. Just turn your camera off unless you don't want to be harassed. Just turn the camera off.
Unless you have a cool mask like Trevor's.
Huh? Yeah, unless she has the Uncle Howdy mask. But no, so, and you know, funny thing? Okay, so she's going to come on, and me and her have these debates all the time, and she actually agrees with Venkat's position when she heard it. Not necessarily to the fullness of it, but she's big on patterns. She's big on looking at on patterns of people's life. And that's what I'm doing in this debate. I'm looking at patterns because you guys are going to tell me, oh, CTE was the cause of him having domestic disputes, the cops being called out for domestic disputes. That was part of the CTE also. CTE was cause of him having an affair on his wife. That was part of the CTE too, right? You guys gonna tell me all that was consistent with CTE?
I'm strictly gonna talk about murder and suicide, my friend. That's all I'm gonna
say. But if you're gonna say that, if you're gonna, I'm gonna kill you on the patterns, because what you're gonna do, Blackson, I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna try to bring up all these cases that have nothing to do with what we're talking about. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to
bring up cases that involve CTE.
I'm going to stick you on this guy's pattern of behavior. And I found a smoking gun that's just going to perfectly parallel.
Because you cheat on your wife doesn't make you a person who would go out and commit murder. That's what we've argued.
Wait, say that again?
Just because you said, okay, Chris Benoit, he messed around on his wife, that has nothing to do with
No, murder. I didn't say that. We're looking at patterns.
But
you're looking at patterns.
Pattern. Okay.
She was gonna leave him. She was gonna leave him.
Okay. We're gonna show patterns of CTE relating to people committing murder and suicide. That's what I'm going to show.
Blackson, you're gonna get beat. You're gonna get beat royally, man. And I hope. I want to do this in 2 weeks. Damn everything else. Zanzi, listen. Hey, is she in the back?
No, she hasn't.
Oh, she hasn't hit. Yeah, Mia, just hit the link whenever you're ready. But yeah, Zanzi. So
right below her comment, all she has to do is hit that. Yeah, and she'll be able to come on.
Yeah, Mia, just hit that link that's right below your comment. So here's the deal, because everybody quick to say, oh, he's just being emotional. But no, I'm not. I feel like I'm being the only sensible person here. Yeah, that's fine. She said she can't stay too long. That's fine. Yeah, come on. That's fine. I wish MD was on. I just wanted to get you introduced to the arena. That's all.
I'm sure that you have other arguments than the one I've heard and the one that I've pointed out that are not emotional, and maybe you want to keep them.
Yeah, I'm not going to divulge
purposes, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm not going to divulge my strategy. All you know is when me and Blackson have that debate, you be front and center, because I am going to kick his ass. Oh God, you're Borgin. No, you're Borgin. Mia.
Does she have like a computer?
Oh, okay. Now you're good now.
Okay, that's much better. How you doing?
Let me see. I'm gonna.
No, you good now.
What about now?
No, you're good now. She has a delay.
Oh, is she on the phone?
I'm on my phone now.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Because you sound, as far as audio.
Yeah, she's on the road too.
Oh, yeah.
She's on the road. Yeah.
Okay.
So Arena family, she can't stay long, but
okay.
I want to introduce you guys.
Right where I am, and don't move.
All right, I want to introduce you guys to my longtime childhood friend. She's in a delay, so she's answering after the fact. But I want to introduce you guys to my longtime childhood friend. She is a licensed family and marriage therapist, a real one, not some made up internet one.
I'm part.
Oh, all right, so The reason why I really wanted you to come on, MD's not on here, but it's fine. So I just want you to get introduced to the panel so we can know, so everybody knows who you are and everything. Because I'm gonna tell y'all when I run into a problem on some things, this is who I go to. So I just want to introduce you to the panel and everything, and give us just give us a little rundown. Don't give away too much info though, because crazy people out here. God, I wonder what this delay is.
Yeah, we might have to wait till she is at her house on the computer.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's on the road on the phone. That's like big no, two big no-nos. As y'all know from my truck shows.
Yeah, and apparently what I've been finding out about my phone.
Your phone is fucked. That's what we found out. Your phone.
Mia, can you hear us?
I don't never recommend people do phone shows.
So Zanzi, real quick though, just because I want to tell you, and I don't want to give up my position, but the title of the debate says, was CTE the cause of Chris Benoit's murder-suicide? Blackson is saying emphatically, yes, that it is. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he didn't have CTE, and I'm not saying that it didn't help contribute. All I'm saying is I'm going to raise reasonable doubt that we don't know. Nobody could know. They could exhume his his brain a million miles till Sunday, and they would never know.
No, there's ways to know, right?
No, it's not ways to know,
right? And you're very right about the fact that it's about patterns, right?
Yeah,
now
it's not working. I don't know. My connection is really poor. I was gonna try on the other phone.
Yeah, I think what it is, Dr. Mia, you have to be, the best thing to do is be like at a house on a computer. When you're on the road on the phone, that's like a double.
No, yes, you can't. Yes, you can't hear it.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
So you're very right to say that it's about patterns, right? But the same way that, I understand that you don't want to reveal them, and I'm not asking you to reveal them. I'm just gonna say what I think, and if Blackson want to reveal anything, that's of his own regard. But the same way that you're stating that a pattern of behavior that Chris Benoit had might prove that CTE is not responsible. Well, same analysis of pattern could correlate his case with the case of other people, but could also serve to prove that the timing or behavior changes correlated with different events that would have led to the brain injury, right? So if it's possible to show that the behavior of Chris Benoit changed significantly at a point after which he would have incurred injury, right? That's a break in a pattern that could indicate that something is more likely to get caused. But the thing is, right, do you want the debate to be only a discussion or an argument about semantics, right? The cause versus a main cause? Or are you really interested into, finding out it's not a dialectic debate, right? But are you really more open to try and figure out, was it a main cause or was it not a main cause, right? Because if you're asking to prove, right, because science cannot never prove anything true, right? Science is all about proving stuff to be false and eliminating them as false, right? So proving something to be 100% true is never possible in any circumstances for anything. It's all about a question of nuances and, what can be considered as the bigger part of the brain, right?
Zanzi, Blackson said emphatically.
So yeah, he wants to do semantics.
I'm not the judge.
No, we're not talking to semantics. Don't try to back out of it now.
No, I'm not backing out. But no, he asked a legitimate question. That's what I want to know. Do you want to really get to the crux of this, or you just want to say, because it sounds like, you're not really interested in hearing the other side. That's what it sounds like.
You know what I want to do? I want to get in you guys' heads to stop trying to exonerate a murdering bastard.
Okay, so why
Trying to
don't
make
we have a
excuses
debate
for everybody.
like he said? Why don't we have just a real, like you said? Like I like Zanzi's approach because the approach that you're using,
Of course you do.
it's more along the line. No, but I'm gonna tell you why. Because
And I don't
want
have an opinion, by the way, of if CTE is the main cause or not, right? I haven't.
Deacon said it right. We
enough.
just want a factual debate. Don't come in here with all the bullshit and trying to change everything at the last minute. Don't do that.
No, that is factual. But I want to get down to, because I really want to get down.
I just
to
want
the crux.
to talk about the name of two people, just to know if you're aware of the existence of those two people on either side. One of them is Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, Aaron Hernandez hung himself in the cell, but they don't know that for sure.
And the other one is Philip Adams.
Who?
Philip Adams.
That sounds familiar. I would have to look him up.
Right, because Philip Adams' case is very, very, very similar to Chris Benoit, right? And he's one of the worst cases of CTE, from what I understand. And that's the main case I would be interested to see. If this guy is considered CTE, right? If this guy is considered that CTE is the main effect, right? And if his behavior is to be considered a pattern of what the effects of this disease or this injury can be, then it's hard to make the case that Chris Benoit might not be into another disposition. Not impossible, because I don't know his history enough to know if his behavior changed or if he's been a little bit of an asshole in a
Zanzi, you bring up Aaron Hernandez. Are you familiar with why Aaron Hernandez was in prison?
I haven't read much about him compared to Philip Adams, but he's one that I've seen that, again, murder, suicide, but in a very different circumstances.
Because I mean, at this point, I could say anybody that did a heinous act, they did it because they suffered from some type of illness. If that's where we're gonna go, if we want to exonerate, let's just open the prison doors and let everybody out.
That's not what the argument is, right? The argument is not because CTE is a cause, it should be free, right? I don't think that's the argument of the debate. I don't think that we're talking about how much should he be considered responsible for his acts. I think we're just talking about the cause for that, right?
Can you guys hear me? You guys are going in. Can you hear me now?
No, we can hear you good.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna just jump right in because I know this is definitely like double dutch. I just have to get right in there. So I'm going to say, I heard Zanzi say that science is just used as a process of elimination. I do agree with that, but once you've concluded what your findings are, do you use that information to inform what happens next? So we can't ignore the outcome. And so with the Hill minister, Trevor, because he always does this to me, and I said, yes, it's not just one thing. For me, it's the sum of all parts. Like I'm kind of with Trevor where I'm like, you can't just attribute it to this one thing, but there is the aspect of where we know CTE has this impact on individuals, and we have yet to really do the work to try to mitigate this as being the end product. Now, did these people have a propensity for violence prior to that? Like, football is a very aggressive sport. Like, we sit here and we pretend like hail to football and it's such a great thing, but it is very barbaric, and it renders your body useless after it's done with you. So there's so many things to consider in this conversation, opposed to just whether CTE was the absolute reason why this behavior was prevalent, and was it prevalent prior to them entering the arena of football. Because I would say that there might have been some signs that would have indicated that they had some of these behaviors. Because I always say diseases only intensify some of the dormant behaviors that might have been prevalent that you didn't see before.
That's true.
Blackson, put that comment on the board.
A break in the pattern if we're to prove that CTE is the main cause.
That's why I didn't want to be pigeon-toed and niggerized in the debate. Trevor, you're niggerizing the debate. That's why I want to get... No. Listen. Because what you're doing is what the same thing goddamn Swab is doing.
No. Don't ever mix me up with that guy.
I'm doing that because you're niggerizing the debate, and I don't want to do that.
Don't bring.
Listen. I want to get down to the crux of it because I have many people, just like Aaron Hernandez, just like Chris Benoit, just like Junior Side. There are patterns. And so that's I want to get down to the bottom. I don't just want to be like, oh, I'm right or you're wrong and pigeon-toed this debate. No, I want this to be an intellectual debate. I don't want to niggerize it, and I want to get down to the crux of it, and I want to get to your issue because you, my friend, are impeding the progress of science with your attitude about, oh, no, it's not CTE. No, this is very important.
That's bullshit, Blackson.
No, listen.
To be fair, Blackson, right?
That's bullshit.
SBL is about having a winner and a loser. So having this kind of debate might be fun, but at the end of the day, a judge is going to decide who won, who lost, right?
I agree.
Trevor isn't impeding science. He's just doing a debate at SBL.
Well, I want to see what is his fascination with saying, oh, no, if we agree with CTE, then, oh, no, you agree with the killer and all that. And he keeps jumping to that. And I'm
but did I ever say that CTE wasn't present? Did I ever say that?
What you're saying, if a person acknowledges CTE, then they're condoning a killer and we should open up the gates. That is ludicrous. Brother.
Because you guys are trying to make that the end all be all.
That's why I don't want to niggerize the debate. I want to
don't do that, Blackson. You being disingenuous now. Don't do that.
Disingenuous. Why do you jump from okay, we're recognizing CT. No, you guys want to damn release all the prisoners.
You know why? Because why the hell should I give you my debate right now on the arena? Why should I do that?
I'm not asking you. I'm just
why
saying,
should I give you the debate now?
I'm asking you a question that I was wondering when you and Yankat had the conversation. I'm like, why does this dude keep jumping to, oh, we must be condoning killers? No, we're saying we're looking for a pattern here. I'm looking at, like I said, like the sister said, football is a dangerous sport, wrestling is a dangerous sport, boxing, all these are dangerous sports. And if we can take the data and look at the different levels of CTE and how it's affecting, we can maybe prevent this. But this is something that's, you know what I'm saying? If you want to just do a win-lose debate and nigga debate, I understand. But see, I want to dig more deeply.
Blackson, hold on, Blackson. How long you been dealing with me for about 6 months now, right? Have I ever come off like I give a damn about winning and losing a debate?
No.
We're having a conversation right now, and you guys are trying to pry info out of me that I'm not going to give you because it's detrimental to my debate.
Okay. So, all right.
I'm not going to do it.
I don't want you to give any info that would be detrimental. And Blackson, I think you have to understand that too, right? That at the end of the day, you're going to be graded at that debate. So giving out, on the other hand, if both of you do it, it just makes it more interesting because you weed out the weak arguments and only.
That's what I want to do.
So are you gonna categorize the different types of behaviors for each of the people that you guys noted? Because I mean, Hernandez, for me, his story was different from the other ones.
He was a former gang member. That's why I don't know why Zanzi even brought him up.
Oh, no, well, I brought up the people I researched, right?
I don't know the other guy you brought up. I don't know him.
Well, there was one of them that shot like 6 people. And the Phillip guy killed 6 people. And so, I mean, it's all. I'm curious about who they were before that happened.
That's the part that I haven't really taken the time to research too much because it's not my debate. But that I think would be the cornerstone of both your arguments, right? Because if they were acting that way before they had any injuries, then CTE is certainly not the main cause, right? If they weren't, then there's an argument to be made.
But Zanzi, the issue is you can't detect CTE until after they're gone.
Correct.
Yeah, sure, but we know what kind of cause, right? You can once you know he had CTE, then you can infer what could have led to.
For most of these guys, CTE never became an issue until it became an issue after the fact. You didn't have that to attribute to.
I'm hoping to see debated.
You didn't have a guy. You don't have a guy sitting in prison and you're like, man, I can't wait until he dies so we could examine his brain to see if he has CTE.
Well, that's why they need more donors.
Oh God, solar in the chat.
He's solar. Hey, solar, let me throw a link for you so you can. Okay.
So hold on, because I know Mia has to go. So you got. I mean, you want something else to add? Because Blackson trying to get my pressure up. That's all.
No, I was just saying that. I was just saying that I think they fall in different categories because Aaron Fernandez early childhood compared to Phillip Adams. Like you really have to do the research of who they were before they entered the football arena, during, and then you can use the CT as the culminating effect, right? Like what happened that led to it was like the final the curtain the curtain drop. So if you're going to organize this debate, like you have to do a historical history and really speak to these individuals, because I don't believe that they all fit the same narrative.
Which is why I didn't want to bring too many outside people into it, because everybody's situation was different. And we only got 10 minutes to do a presentation. So there's no way you're going to touch everybody. That's why I know where I'm going in this debate. I already know.
But you can do is identify the common themes. Like if you are looking at their whole history, their early childhood, middle childhood, and you find a reoccurring theme that is prevalent in every aspect, in like let's say you do 3 as your sample size, and there's a consistent reoccurring theme, then you can say, like, based on this information, people with this, pattern of behavior, if developed, can evolve into becoming a murder. Like you have to find something that correlates and ties them together to come to a conclusion that CTE was like the culminating event.
Blackson,
Yes.
you there?
Yeah,
Are you mad? You mad at me?
No, I'm not. No,
Hey,
I'm not you, brother.
hey,
no.
hey, Blackson,
Because
Blackson.
unlike you, I'm going to come with pure science, brother.
Blackson,
I'm gonna
drop
break down pure science.
drop a goddamn bomb, because I just keep bringing all the fire guests over here. If you got
To be fair, Trevor, Mia is not saying, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think she's taking any sides here.
no, me and her never agree. We
But
talk all the
to
time.
make a determination on it.
I'm just saying I'm bringing the fire to the arena. We never agree. Me and her go at it. Me and her go at it all day. Like we always arguing about something. I didn't bring her.
Unlike you, Blackson, I do subscribe to the science, and sometimes I do have to reel Trevor back in, because I want him to have both facts, right? Both sides of the story, because I think at any time both of them are presenting. Like I'm the person that believes that science and creationism coexist. Like one does not operate without the other.
Interesting. That might be a conversation for another day. But
Mia, you're gonna fit in perfect over here.
Want to hear more about?
You're gonna fit in perfect over here. I really wish MD was in the chat, because he wanted you to talk about the PTSD in the Black community. But I mean, we could always do that for another day. But yeah, Zanzi, me and her argue all the time, so it's not like I didn't bring her over here to agree with me. I brought her over here because, like she says, she reels me in a lot of times, and I defer to her on a lot of different things, because I have the ability to defer to people that have more knowledge than me in a certain field. So I'm not going to say like I'm the end all be all. So if you prove me wrong on something, then that's what you did. I'm not going to act like, oh, you an idiot, blah blah blah. I don't do that. My whole intent.
No, we're not saying that you do.
My whole intent is to learn and be entertaining in doing it.
Well, brother, since she's used to really doing science, I'm gonna do something that you're already familiar with, and I'm gonna read you the science, brother. That's what
Blackson, I told you.
Hold on. Let me say this.
Go ahead. My bad.
Let me say this. Because you and Mia have a very interesting point on, of being a gangbanger. Now, Aaron Hernandez, he didn't start popping up bodies until after he signed the $40 contract. So he was already playing football, by the time he had these murders with the people from Cape Verde, and then the other murder with the guy that he lured in the car. So this is after the fact. And then I'm going to point out a pattern where these people did not commit murder and have all these violent behaviors until that after their profession sports. So I got you. You want to see patterns? I got you. That's all I'm gonna say. And all I'm gonna say is I'm going to bring the science, and I'm gonna let you know offhand. I'm gonna bring one of the top. In fact, I want you to look her up. I'm gonna tell you who I'm gonna bring. Dr. Ann McKee. Oh yes, I'm bringing Dr. Ann McKee, one of the top neurologists in the country. Oh yes. Since you already know where I'm going with this, and you already know how I'm coming. You know I don't goddamn half step on anything. So Blackson, Solar is in the chat. I don't know if he's still listening, so I'm gonna say this so he can hear it. You're gonna be the answer to a question. Who was Trevor's first victory in SVDL? And his name is Blackson. So you just bring it. You just bring it. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna bring it, brother. Just have all your slides together, and when the rapid fire comes, you're gonna have to duck for cover because I'm goddamn doing a rapid fire on that ass.
So Trevor, tell me what your position is, because I understand Blackson's position, but what is your position? I don't think I've really got that.
My position is that you can't emphatically say that CTE was the cause of the murder-suicide.
And is that Blackson's position?
No, his position is that was the cause.
My real position is that it's a cause, meaning it contributed to it. It you know what? I don't want to say too much, but it's a contribution. I'm not saying it's the be all end all. That's ridiculous, Trevor. That's why I said I don't want to.
Blackson, that's what you said. We could go back to the stream.
I said, sir, the same thing Zanzi said. It is a contribution. Now, I will go as far as to say...
I think it's a contribution.
So what are we debating about?
No, I wouldn't have took that. You said emphatically.
No, I wouldn't have took no emphatic.
You said emphatically. Let's go back to the stream.
I know, but I listen for a living, and I hear you guys saying the same thing. So that's why I needed to, as a point of clarification, as a professional listener, I'm like, what is the position? Because I hear you saying the same thing, but just using, it's, semantics, different terminology, and what you believe.
You know what the issue is?
Blackson, you're not backing out of another debate.
Always come from a reasonable point of view, right? And we're trying to get reasonable people to argue over stuff.
Oh shit! Who kicked out? MD. Blackson, you're not getting out of another debate with me. Sorry.
I'm not getting out of debate. I'm saying.
Okay, Trevor. I'm signing off, and absolutely, this is a great place to explore, and I'll definitely come back. Thank you so much.
Come back Monday. I'll drop the link in the group.
All right, you guys. Thank you. Nice meeting you. Talk soon.
All right.
Zanzi, Trevor, I state the same position that Dan Zanzi is. He said that it's not 100%, and that's how science works. What I'm trying to understand is why are you disregarding the CTE? Why? Because that's how it's coming off to me.
Blackson, I'm not disregarding it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All I'm saying is that you can't emphatically say that was that was it. Because we can go back to the stream. That's what you said.
I'm saying that it's a factor, but it's a lot of people. Go ahead, Zanzi. I'm sorry.
My understanding on what the debate and the subject was is CTE the main cause, right?
Right.
So none of the position dismissed that CTE might be a cause, right? We're trying to ascertain if it's the main cause. And like Mia said, right, and like I've said, it's all about finding a break in the pattern or not finding a break in the pattern, right? If it could be shown that the behavior, the erratic behavior associated with the event started out after it could be ascertained that injury might have been occurred. If there's a point of change in the behavior that can be correlated with injury, then it can be considered the main cause, right? If not, if the behavior from prior to the potential point of injury was going increasingly towards that kind of behavior that led to the event, then no, it might be a contributing factor, but it's not the main cause. So that's what I understood the debate was. If it's not, then
No, I agree with you, Zanzi. I totally agree.
Man, I feel like I'm getting fleeced.
No, I'm asking you, do you agree with that? I think the way Zanzi explained it was perfect.
and I'm just stating my understanding. I have no part in
That's why I didn't want to do this shit, man. Because it's like I feel like you being disingenuous for real.
I've never understood what the position or the debate was, but that's what I understand. It was from the conversation we had today. If it's not supposed to be that, then I'm not sure what it's supposed to be.
What up, Zanzi? What up? But yeah, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to figure out the issue that Trevor has. So now you're saying that you're admitting that it's a big contribution, it's a cause.
I didn't say it was a big contribution. I said, but I can't deny that it may have something to do with it.
So then what are we debating?
I think, can you hear me?
Yes, indeed.
Hey, I think Trevor's saying you pulled the old switcheroo on him.
He did. And that's why I didn't want to have a conversation, because that's exactly what he did.
But conversations are good and they can lead to debate if there's no final.
What did you think the debate should be then? What do you think it was defined as, Trevor?
The debate is what I said on his stream Saturday when he came on there bragging and shit that Solar agreed with it and how he was going to smoke me. And I even said it twice. I said,
can you repeat it, please?
Was CTE the cause of Chris Benoit's murder suicide? And Blackson said yes. He didn't say a cause. He didn't say a 10% cause. He said the cause.
Right. But so would a 70% or 60% constitute the cause?
And you.
That's my question, right? Because
I get it.
I think we all agree that it can't be 100%.
I get it.
Right? Yeah. I would.
Blackson, I'm trying to hook my interface up.
Is it 100% or is it 0%? Right?
I disagree with that.
Or if it is, let me know. But
I would never
because if CTE was the engine to drive those other emotions forward, that's 100% CTE.
Well, yeah, of course. If he was an angel who never hurt anybody before he sustained his injury, but like Mia said, if you're getting into wrestling, if you're getting into boxing, if you're getting into American football, you are an aggressive person, right? An aggressive person doesn't mean a murderous person, but you do show patterns of aggression if you're getting into those activities, right? So it's all a question of level, right? Of nuance here. So I don't believe that, considering the kind of people we're talking about here, people who engage in those extreme sports, that
then what happens then?
If that's what the agreed on debate was, then be it, and it's going to be an impossible debate to win on either side, right? But if it's about what's the main cause, the main contributor, then it's a more nuanced debate that can be won with a solid argument, right? That's my position. Now, what was the agreed debate on? 100%, 0%, or majority, right?
Yeah. I'm saying majority. I'm saying that I'm not saying it's 100%, but I'm saying that it's a main factor. And
Again,
okay.
no, I was just gonna say. I mean, so you have to ask yourself a hypothetical when you researching for this debate, right?
Right.
If a person was subjected to domestic issues before an injury, how much of a percentage would you put on the cause of whatever the conclusion is? Like I said, somebody can think something and say something all day long, but when you take the CTE into consideration, we have to understand what, and of course it's theory, but you still got to take it into consideration. The CTE.
What threw me through a loop is when they said, okay, Aaron Hernandez was a gangbanger. And I'm like, dude, he didn't start popping people until after he was in the NFL. So we can all say that we gangsters, and there's a bunch of fake gangsters out there, but he didn't start putting in his body. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
CTE is a degenerative disease, right? So considering even if he started football and he had his accident that led to the injury, let's say in 1990, right? The disease would most likely not advanced enough in 1993 to explain other violent behavior, right? And killing someone versus hurting someone very bad, right? Sometimes there's other explanation as to why you didn't cross the threshold of killing someone, right? That can be explained by, well, CTE make you lose that particular inhibition, right? But that particular case where CTE's only effect would have had to make you lose this particular inhibition, the same way that being particularly drunk or high might do, then it steers more into Trevor's camp of argument of winning situation, where if a CTE can have the same effect as getting drunk into letting you kill someone, then the CTE is not the main cause. Your behavior and your temperament is the main cause, and the CTE was just an enabler, right? But if you went from sometime getting a brawl that never really hurt anybody when you're drunk or when you're with people, so you have an aggressive temperament, but after your injury, you start fucking torturing kittens and killing people, then that's a big change. And then the CTE might be considered a main contributor, right? So it's all about, is it something that's just going to push you over the edge, or is it something that created the goddamn gulf in which you're tumbling down, right?
Zanzi, that's called cause and effect. The cause is always 100%. So despite if you had those thoughts or those like you had an intuition as to thinking that you may do something, but you always had a cognitive barrier holding you back from doing that. Whether it was drugs, alcohol, in this case CTE, that's the cause.
But there are people who will never have the impulse required to have those thoughts or engage in those acts, right? If all you lose is your impulse control, that's not the same thing as far as contributing to something as a change in your temperament created by an injury, right? So it's actually in my mind, right? And you say it's easily 100% of the cause, but the thing is, with psychological stuff, with neurological stuff, seldom things are 100% one thing. We're complex machines, right? There's a lot of factors. Everything does.
I mean, to the point, if Blackson's gonna argue it, he has to argue the cause. You know what I mean? And the cause from all medical case studies with this particular incident is CTE. So that's what it is. I mean, I can't speak for you, Zanzi, but like most people, like
I don't know enough about those cases to say that the cause is CTE. I think that it would require extensive analysis of the life of those people.
So Zanzi, would you say that autopsy is good enough for you, or is that not a good?
Autopsy tells you if you have CTE, but
Absolutely.
knowing if you have CTE or not is not enough to determine if an event was caused by the CTE. Pattern analysis is very important. Patterns of behaviors are very important. They have to be taken into consideration. I don't have an opinion on this particular case because I don't know the particulars of
Right.
that case, right? So I wouldn't be able to tell you if that guy was fundamentally changed by his injuries, right? If he was, then yes, it most likely is a main cause. If
So
he
then,
wasn't,
Jamie, what kind of
no.
patterns would you look for? If you got 5 different athletes, and they've all been
Patterns in
autopsied.
terms of violence, right? That's
Yeah,
what we're
yeah.
looking for
He's
right
talking about
now.
the domestic pattern.
Huh? The domestic pattern.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about just particular in this study. I'm not talking about in general.
I mean,
talking about this.
if his violence is only in the domestic settings, that's a good indicator that CTE is most likely not the main cause. Because CTE
I still disagree with that.
CTE is not indiscriminate, right? CTE is indiscriminate, right? So those violent behavior would manifest in multiple parts of their life, right? And that's what I've seen in most wrestlers, right? They're violent everywhere in any context, right? Be it with fans, be it with colleagues, be it with their family, be it with complete strangers. So,
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I was about to say, Trevor, where you at?
That led to Chris Benoit's case, I'm not sure. I encourage both of you guys to research Philip Allen. That's terrifying how close it is, but there's a main difference in the case that I'll let you guys discuss.
Hey, Zanzi, hold up for one second.
He was
Zanzi,
actually the second person that I did research.
I'm trying to use my interface and I don't know how it sounds. Can you guys hear me good?
Yeah. I mean, you sound like you kind of in the chamber a little bit, but yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. So something's wrong still. You guys still can't hear me?
No, we can.
Yeah, we can hear you clearly. Like I said, it just sound like you're in the bathroom or something like that.
Yeah, that's all. But it's clear though. It's clear.
Trying to figure out what. No, I can hear you. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Why it
I mean,
doesn't
it's
sound
fine.
clear.
But we're saying, that's fine right there, Trevor. I mean, it's doable. It's doable.
Yeah, that music is overwhelming in the background.
I can barely hear it. I guess because I'm on my headset. I don't. But no, I'll just say this real quick. I think it should be either way. I think the title within itself, I think it should be a good debate because basically what y'all doing is debating the timeline of one particular is like in Trevor's instance, he'll be debating the timeline based on the events that led up from an emotional level, right?
Yeah.
All the domestic instances that happen, and that'll be his side of the argument, right?
Right.
Whereas to Blackson, he'll be debating the same timeline, but looking at it from more of a medical standpoint and using those case studies that came from the events that led up to the, what happened.
That is correct.
And how it affected and like I said, it's still theory. On both sides, it's theory.
Absolutely,
either way.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not saying it's 100%. No, I'm just saying that.
Right.
Now,
But I can see where it could be a good debate based off of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
y'all will be debating the same timeline.
Yep.
You'll be coming from a medical perspective. Trevor will be coming from an actual domestic perspective in terms of the things that happen, and both of y'all will come to a conclusion in the climax of what ultimately happened with the murder.
Yes.
So I can see it being a good debate. I don't see what there is. I kind of see what Trevor's saying. Like, okay, maybe it's gonna come to a point where, the wording of the actual title has to be better. But I think if y'all just keep going where y'all going with it, it shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be a problem.
The title was fine until Blackson let Zanzi make him change
No,
his
I
mind.
never said 100%.
I didn't want to change anything. I just want to understand what the title is, right? None of what I say should influence what the agreed debate was, right? But you don't seem to agree on what the debate is what I find
I agree.
problematic.
The
Because
debate is what I said
it
it is.
often happens on SVDL, and then people argue mostly about what the debate is instead of debating any particular subject.
I'm debating based on what we talked about, and now it seems like y'all trying to make me seem like that's not what we talked about. But fine, I'll come in as a even bigger underdog. That's fine. But Blackson just said something real interesting. So you, even with the CTE that you stand by, and just him being a terrible human being that I stand by, MD asked you a question, and you said that you agree that it's just theory that we can't prove.
No. What I'm saying is that.
Well, I mean, you can't prove it either, though, Trevor.
Exactly. I know.
That's what I keep saying. I'm trying to, because you try to pitch it to me into the 100% emphatically. I don't never use that word emphatically. That's not even in my vocabulary.
No, I said emphatically. I said emphatically.
You said that, right? You said that. You never got out of me. I said it's a major cause. That meaning it's not the only cause. But I would say if you say him being a human being is 40% and the CTE is 70%, I would say 70%. Because I can use the science to push. Like if you're an asshole, CTE will make you more of an asshole. If you have go ahead.
No, I'm saying real quick, Blackson. I got to gaslight you though now because
okay, that's fine.
You got I'm under the impression, like I said, cause and effect.
Okay.
Despite what my emotional bearings was at the time, and what I may have feel, something in my brain was inhibiting me from doing said action. Right.
Right.
Whether it's drugs,
yes,
whether it's alcohol, whether it's whatever the situation may be, hell, whether it's peer pressure, that's ultimately the cause of what you were ever thinking at that time. Perfect example. Perfect example.
I agree with that.
If I'm at the subway, I'm at the MARTA station, and I'm like, damn, I want to, I got to get on the other side to catch the southbound train. I don't know.
Got you.
Okay, so
damn, I want to jump. I want to jump this damn track.
Right.
But I'm too afraid to do it.
Yes.
Come New Year's Eve that same night, I need to get on that train. I'm drunk as shit.
Right.
I need to get to the other side so I can get on this southbound train.
Yes.
My drunkenness is giving me the courage to jump over this damn track. What's the cause?
The cause is that alcohol.
Okay, I rest my case.
Yeah,
that's where I want to ask you a question, MD20, because you asked the question, what is the cause, right? But I think that's not the true question here, because I think in that particular case, the way that you've put it forward with the context and all, what should be asked is more, what are the contributing factors, right? Because if he was drunk, but if he was not depressed, then he would have not jumped. And if he was only depressed and not drunk, he would have not jumped either. So you needed both contributing factor of the depressive state of mind and the drunkenness to having jumped. So the cause is the fact that those two contributing factors and also I guess you could add the contributing factor of having a running fucking subway in a town, right? Because if there was no subway, when that would not be a potential way to end your life, right? You have to look for a bridge, or it might have to look for a fucking alternative, right?
No, that's not what I said. I said I needed to make a train, but I was on the other side of a track that I didn't need to be on. I was saying if I'm not talking about you can take your life in a lot of different ways.
Yeah,
that's a different instance. But if I'm trying to get to a destination, whether it be physically or a state of being, I ultimately have to have a cause in which to do it. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's still going to be a cause.
Let's talk about suicide, right? Killing yourself in a place where you can't acquire firearms is much more difficult than killing yourself in a place where you can easily acquire firearms.
But it's
right?
still a cause,
That's
though,
a contributing
Zanzi.
factor, right? That's what I'm trying to say is that there's never one cause to most things in life.
So real quick, are we just gonna overlook what probably was the real cause is his excessive steroid use? You want Blackson, you want me to give you an out? You want to make it CTE or steroid?
Use part of that as my argument too.
You want me to give you an out? You want to do CTE versus steroids?
I think they're both equally because you got roid rage, so they're both equally.
Because I would contribute it to being more on his roid rage more than CTE.
So what you're saying? Let me get this straight, and I'm not saying yay or nay. What you're saying is steroids is more of a factor than CTE?
No, in this situation, I'm talking about Chris Benoit.
I'm talking about Chris Benoit. I'm talking about Aaron Hernandez. I'm talking about Phillips.
Well,
I'm talking about.
We don't know if what Aaron Hernandez's steroid use was, but I know they found multiple types of steroids at the murder scene. So okay. he's an avid. I mean, they popped him on so many lists for steroid users. So,
but Hulk Hogan uses just as many steroids. Vince McMahon. So I mean, I see where you're going, and trust me, I didn't leave that out. What I'm saying is that you got more steroid users. No, you got more CTE damaged brains from autopsies of these heinous crimes than you do steroid users. Now, steroid users, yeah, you got people with violent behavior, but when you look at the factor that pushes over the edge, based on my research, is CTE.
I'm gonna use a term,
and I'm not discrediting the steroids. I was actually going to use that in the debate too. I revealed it. You revealed it, so I'm revealing it. I was going to actually put that in there because that actually pushes you over the edge even more. So yeah, you weren't going to surprise me with that, brother.
I'm gonna use a term that Chris Harris uses all the time, and I don't even know what it means, but it just feels like it fits this situation. You're doing a bunch of gish gallop. Whatever the hell that means.
Say gish gallop.
Gish gallop. You just doing a bunch of gish gallop because you legit let Zanzi. You let Zanzi come on here and talk you out of the damn debate that was going to be epic.
No.
I still see nothing wrong with the original title.
I don't either. Because I'm not saying 100%. Never said 100%. I've never said that. So I still don't have a problem with the title.
Go back to Saturday stream.
I don't care.
To be fair, the reason I came was to address your emotional-based argument, and you guys
got to stop saying emotional, though.
Very well, Trevor, by bringing out the pattern, the behavioral pattern. I think that what you're trying to base the debate on is the right thing, Trevor. Now you seem that's my only contribution, right? And asking what the title of the debate is exactly, and you guys don't seem to agree on what the title is, right?
Well, so we did until Blackson let you talk him out of it.
Well, I haven't talked anybody out of anything. I just said that I agreed with you when it comes to the fact that patterns of behavior is a better argument than trying to absolve people being the reason why that shouldn't be considered the main cause, right? No, looking at patterns of behavior is a much more reasonable way to address that debate. Now, the only thing I did in relation to the subject was ask the question, what is the subject? And then you started to disagree. So if the subject was stated and agreed on yesterday, then my suggestion would be, let's go and find that little clip and use it as the statement of the title, right?
Go to Saturday's stream. Remember, Blackson is the one. I didn't even get a notification for the stream. Blackson is the one that fired up a stream because he just had to let everybody know how he was going to destroy me. I was taking time off of YouTube, and then I went on and saw that he was live. So I'm like, damn, let me jump in and see what he's talking about. And then I see he's like, oh yeah, I'm about to bring this, and this. So I pinned him to it. I was like, is this the title? And he said yes. And my wife even said that I heard you ask him that twice, and he said yes. So now all of a sudden, it's
So
like,
I think what we need to do, Trevor, is and for future reference, for now until future reference, make sure that's why these discussions are good. That's why these discussions, make sure there's a clear cut understanding, because you're pushing out there that I'm saying CTE 100%, and I don't never give anything 100%, brother. What I'm saying is it the main cause. When I say main cause, I'm not saying 100%. I'm saying it is a
You have to
major
go and
factor.
rewatch the debate from Saturday, Blackson, because if you did agree on what the title was supposed to be at that point, I feel like that's what the debate should be, no matter how you feel today about it. Right?
that's
Yeah, but
exactly what it
how
was.
are we defining it though? How are we defining it?
Well, we have to go back to that stream Saturday.
No,
That's
that's why. But that's
entitled
why I'm
the title
clarifying the
agreed
definition
on.
now, though. That's
So
why I'm
of
clearing.
course the title that you agreed on should be found in that video.
Right? Is it was it a major factor in the murder suicide?
See, now he's adding
No,
major.
what I'm
not
saying,
adding.
Blackson, is we're gonna have to go and isolate the clip, right? Because whatever you say today, we still have to refer to what was said Saturday. And the great part is that it's recorded, so we can
Right,
find
right.
it.
Okay. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Hey, Blackson, regardless though, just let me say this. When I get off this stream, I'm not gonna be mad at you. I'm not gonna go make a million videos.
Oh, I know you.
And I'll be right back here. I'll be right back here tomorrow if you fire up a stream. So it ain't no big deal.
So what you're saying is that you don't want to have the debate.
No, you the one running, not me. You legit let Zanzi. You let Zanzi raise doubt in your mind.
No, it wasn't doubt. No, Zanzi just clarified something that I was trying to clarify you from the get-go. Meaning, no, it's not I said it's a major factor, but your definition and my definition of major, your definition of major is 100%. That's not my definition. So all Zanzi did was just clarify something that me and you were saying. He just articulated it more. But when I say major, I'm not saying 100%. Like, yeah, no, I wouldn't say no shit like that. No, I'm saying, but see, it's all about the dialectics and your interpretation. You're interpreting my saying major as 100%, brother. That's what I'm trying to say.
Then you're gonna try to compare me to Suave and all this shit,
because
man. I'm
that's
like,
a
come on,
tactic that he
man.
does. Okay, well, you know what? Okay, I apologize for calling you a suave. That's that was low. Okay, I apologize for that. I won't do that shit no more. But
I
when
don't
I'm
know
sure
who Suave is, but he doesn't like he doesn't sound like an appreciated person.
No, he's a person that basically bulldoze and pigeon toes people in certain debates based on semantics. And this is how he would win debate based on. And I'm saying, no, I don't
That
want
would
to.
suck if that would suck if that debate comes down to a semantic argument.
Right, and I don't want that. I want it to be a legitimate, like, look, I have an issue. Trevor has an issue. I want this to be a legitimate, like, okay, you know what? I believe this and that, and I want him. I don't want to try to cheat a debate or semanticize a debate or nigger out. I don't want to do that. No, I want it to be a straight up debate. No tricks. What I'm saying, Trevor, again, is when I say major, I would be specific. I'm saying 70% of the cause. 70% of the calls. That's what I'm saying when I say major. I'm not saying 100%. I'm saying
again, it's going to be hard to put an actual percentage.
Yeah, that's
I
kind of like
what I'm saying is that but Zanzi, what I'm saying is that it's not like nothing is 100%, and I agree with that.
Right.
And
So
you
really have to go out and prove that his behavior changed due to the injury, right? And if he can prove that his behavior was consistent all his life with what he did, then that prove it might not have been such a major part of it. If you prove that his behavior was changed drastically by the injury, then it might have been a major contributor, right? So that's what that behavior pattern, I think, what it comes down to, and that would be an interesting debate if we really get an argument about
Yeah,
his
but see,
life and
Zanzi,
the
Zanzi,
different.
he was going to try to trick me up with steroids. No, I believe that steroids plays a factor also, but not. I believe that CT plays a more of a factor. But no, see,
Yeah, and there's
alcohol,
way to determine that, right?
steroids,
There's
yeah,
way to prove either way, so that's gonna be interesting to see. I
right.
didn't know about steroids. I think having steroids in the mix is gonna make an even more interesting debate because
On both
I think
sides.
steroids are also a good contender for making people crazy. So
No, I do too. I agree with that too. But I agree. But I think CTE plays a more part based on the science. Now, yes, CT. Now,
well,
steroids.
it can, but in individual cases, it all depends on the
No, I agree.
individual. So
The
that's
same
what
with
we're gonna
CTE. It's
get
same with
to have a
CTE
look at. I hope.
because Trevor's argument is that nobody has done what Chris Benoit has done. Well, CTE, first of all, affects people differently, and there's different stages of CTE. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and then one thing that I don't know, I heard you say something about CTE and Trevor. No, Chris Benoit has the worst case of CTE.
That
He
I
had it
don't
all
know
over his
if
brain.
that's the
How
case.
do we
That's
know that?
No, based on what Doctor one of the top neurologists said, she said he had the worst case. It's documented. He has the worst case.
Ah,
Oh, you can. That's why I'm glad that I was going to bring that during the debate, and then you would have to refute with Doctor Ann McKee. Ann McKee again is the top neurologist on CTE in the country, if not the world, but definitely in the United States of America.
And you also have to take into account when he said that. If he said that in 1986, well, in the last 50 years, maybe there's a chance that the
No,
words
no,
have.
no. She said this. She
Right?
said this within. She said this in 2018. I'm sorry.
well, it happened in 2007. So what? They still got his brain? Like what? What's going on?
Yeah, yeah. You know they still doing studies. Like
They're
they
still doing
keeping it
studies.
for they
Absolutely.
keeping it
Yeah,
for study
they can
wise.
do that.
But
They're gonna be able to bring back your brain, Trevor. They're gonna
They
keep
they,
it in the
they
jar.
hell,
And
they
please,
need to try to extract that evilness out of him, so to make sure they find out what's causing people to be so evil. Because so here's my whole thing, Zanzi, because I want to address a point that you made, because then Blackson is great at this, saying that I get emotional from stuff. What I'm saying is this: my whole position has always been this, and I've never changed. Vancat gets mad at me all the time for this. Is that I'm not quick to say bad people do things because of a chemical imbalance or something like that. I'm the type of person that if you're bad, I'm going to attribute that to you. It would just like being saying if you do something good, God did it. If you did something bad, it's the devil. My whole thing is holding people to be responsible for their own shit. And what I'm saying is that the patterns of abuse and everything is there. And this man plotted over a 3-day period to kill his wife and kid. And somebody that has an 85-year-old amnesia brain ain't going to have the wherewithal to strategically map out how you're going to do something like that.
So the debate
That's
should be.
why I
That
say
might
that.
be
So
that
the
might be a
debate.
little bit out there, out of the debate space right here. But I mean, what do you think? Because from my perspective, right, we're nothing more than the chemical and electrical interactions in our brain, right? So if the neurochemical electrochemical interactions in the brain are inhibited either through chemicals like steroids or through actual physical damage, then who you are, right? That's what changes who you are, right? So now, if you were to believe in such concepts as the soul and evil, then I guess you could try and attribute behavior to something else than a chemical or electrical imbalance of the brain, right? But from my point of view, and maybe Blackstone's, I'm not sure, but behavior and erratic behavior or horrendous behavior is nothing but chemical or right and now you can either be born like that, and that's part of your temperament, right? And that some people might consider it defect, the same way that Nazis consider Jews to be defects, right? But some people would consider just temperament, right? And in different part of our history, it might have been beneficial to some extent, right? But the fact is, if you do believe in such things as soul or evil or other contributing factor to the behavior or the personality or the being of someone, then that the debates really shift from what is a person, right, and what constitute your personality and your intent, and right.
Well, I think what you're looking for, Trevor, is a person with CTE, or should they be held liable, responsible for the actions? That's what it sounds like.
No,
No? Okay.
no. Because I mean, again, how could a person with CTE be held liable for their actions? Because once you find out they have CTE, they're already dead. What I'm saying is, why do we see? My whole thing is why were we so quick to say that? Oh yeah, that was it, emphatically. You know, fuck the steroid use, fuck the abuse, fuck that. That was it. CTE. When I can
So
show
what
you
is
when
that you think people would dismiss the other contributing factor to try to explain it solely by CT, and I think that would be wrong too.
Right.
That's what we're trying to say the whole time, right? So if you can find clips of Blackson ever saying that, then yeah, if that's the debate, I don't think. But it was the debate ever that CT is the main cause and steroids had no effect, right? If yes, then that's unfortunate for you, Blackson. If the debate was if does CT has had any effect, then that's not an interesting debate. Now, if it's a fight between did he go crazy because he was taking too much steroid or because he got too much hit on his head doing what he loved, right? Whichever is the answer, none of them absolve him from responsibility, right? So
go back 2 days ago, Black Sun's Truck Show, the CTE title has been approved. It was 2 days ago, and you'll hear him say it on there.
yeah, and if that's the case, well, all right.
Stand on your square, Black Son. Stand on your
Black Sun don't want to, you know.
Hey, I'm standing on
This
this
is what I'm saying,
100%.
man.
I'm saying it's a major factor. No, but I'll vote for it with the debate. But I'm
I
just
feel
gonna
let down, man. For real, for real.
No, man, because you're not gonna pigeonhole me into something I
I
didn't say.
feel let down. All right. Okay. So what if we talk to Solar and it's just an exhibition debate then? So nobody get any points off of it. Because you seem like you don't want to lose.
Go ahead and get the
No,
clip.
I don't want to be pigeonholed into something I don't agree with. I never agreed to 100%. Now, my wording may have come off like that. I'm saying it's a major. I'm saying it's a major factor. I'm saying it's more of a major factor than inherited behavior. It's more of a major factor than steroids. So I have the science to prove that if you have the steroid use, if you have the behavioral problem, CTE pushes it over the edge. I have the documentation that shows that it will prove. So yeah, you can say, oh, well, this person was a gangbanger, and oh yeah, CTE pushed you over the edge. Oh, this person used steroids. Yeah, and CTE pushed you over the edge. That's what I'm saying.
I don't disagree with any of that.
So then what are we debating then? That's what I'm trying to. Yeah, sometimes we need to have a discussion to get an understanding. I'm not, when I say a major factor, I'm saying that, yeah, it will push you over the edge. Not because, I mean, when I'm looking at all these damn suicides, I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, but people kill themselves even without head injuries, right?
No,
So
I
there has
agree.
to be more than that to it.
But Black
I
Sun,
agree with that. I agree with that, Zanzi. I'm not disagreeing with that, but what I'm saying is that it's not a. What I'm saying is that it is a, just like he would come to the debate saying, "Oh, with steroids." Okay, well, what portion of steroids? You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't deny the steroids. I was going to say that too. And
I mean, if you want to see what the effects of steroids can be on a person, just watch the movie No Pain No Gain, right? Apparently, everything in that movie happened in real life, and that's definitely steroid that created that.
wouldn't it?
But Zanzi, I can look at somebody like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I can look at somebody like, I don't
Rocky,
know,
Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone. So, the steroid argument, even though that's why I said it can push you, because you got a lot of steroid users out here that are functioning just fine.
But doesn't it raise a doubt in your mind that before Zanzi mentioned this other guy, this Phillips guy, which I didn't know about, but all the other people, all the other NFL players.
There's a lot of guys you don't know about.
Well, hold on. All the NFL players that died, and when they exhumed their brain, they saw that they had severe CTE. Doesn't it seem weird that they only killed themselves versus everybody else?
Okay, so let me address that. I was going to address it during the debate. There are different stages of CTE. And Chris Benoit, based on Dr. Ann McKee, he had the most severe, and it was everywhere, all around his brain. His CTE was the worst case study that she has ever seen. And it goes in this order. Chris Benoit being the worst. Then Phillips being the second worst. Then goddamn, and he murdered some people too. Then goddamn Junior Sai.
No, Sayal didn't murder anybody.
No, he didn't murder anybody.
He only killed himself.
Listen, you're not fucking listening. I said there's different stages.
Yeah, but you just tried to
You interrupted me.
No, Blackson, I gotta correct this though. You literally just said the man murdered people.
Well, no. Listen. Let me finish what I'm saying. Chris Benoit was stage 4, which is the most severe. Phillips was the worst severe. Now I'm going down you're Russian. I'm going down the list of CTE. Sai was not stage 4, my friend. Now we get into the stage 3. Most of the guys that committed suicide was stage 3. Aaron Hernandez, stage 4. Phillips, stage 4. Chris Benoit was the worst, stage 4. So no, you're not going to find nobody worse than Chris Bob because he had the goddamn worst case. He had the worst case of it to this day. He had the worst case about any boxer, any football player. He had the most severe case. Then Phillips, even though Phillips committed more murders than Chris Benoit, I guess you didn't know that. Phillips murdered 9 people, but he was at stage 4, just like Chris Benoit. You see a pattern here? Guess what? There's a pattern. For people with stage 4 on record, there is a pattern. Chris Benoit, Phillips, and goddamn Aaron Hernandez. They all suffered from stage 4 CTE. The people in stage 3 are all committed suicide. They're all stage 3. So let's not even mention the stage 2, stage 1, because they say, 90% of football players suffer from CTE. Most of them don't reach past stage 1 and 2. Chris Benoit surpassed that. He surpassed that. So if you want to see a pattern, Chris Benoit, Aaron Hernandez, Mr. Phillips. They are on record as the worst case CTE in history. Chris Benoit is number 1, the worst, by Dr. Ann McGee, the top brain, the CTE brain. She is the top dog in the country, if not the goddamn world, because we don't know what China has, we don't know what goddamn Russia has, but in the free world, Dr. Ann McGee is the top. And she said that Chris Benoit is the worst case. He had it all over his brain. All over his brain. His brain looked like complete mushroom mush.
You think fucking hooligans get worse case than the players?
What do you mean, Zanzi? I'm sorry.
The fucking English hooligans that fucking go to war with each other during the World Cups match and everything, the football match. Do you think they have worse injury than the players? Especially in the
based on the science. Hold on, I'm going to answer your question. Based on the science, the frontal lobe where Chris Benoit landed his head is where it triggers your cognitive decisions, your anger mood, and your judgment. All that was fucked up. And it was the size of a goddamn quarter. That's how fucking large the goddamn injury was. That's why she said this comes from the top goddamn neurologist. Chris Benoit is the worst case. So I don't care about how many. Oh, he slept with his wife, or he had this and that. He had the worst case. His case was worse than Phillips, and Phillips murdered and shot 9 goddamn people. That's what the science says. That's what the top doctor. And I was going to ask Trevor, who is the top doctor to refute Dr. Ann McGee? Dr. Ann McGee is the top. Let me say it again. The top surgeon in the Western world. Like I said, I don't know who's the top in Russia. They don't divulge that information. They don't. And it's from Nature Mom. Shout out to Nature Mom. They're not going to divulge that information in China because China got some top neurologists, and so does Russia. But they don't divulge that information. But in the free world, it's Dr. Ann McGee. And I'm going by what she says, not based on what Trevor says, and not based on what anybody says. McGee is the top. And she said, but Benoit is the worst. And they are the top 3 that fit in a category 4 because there's stages of this shit. 4. Category 4 of CTE. And yeah, it will cause you to commit murder. Go ahead, MD.
So with that being said, Blackson, I think you should call Trevor's bluff and take the title change to 100%. That's just that's just me.
I'll tell you what, just to entertain.
All his bluff.
Oh yeah, 100%. How about that? Yeah, 100% now. Shit, fuck it, just for the fun's sake. So now you got to refute Dr. Ann McGee's information. But yeah, you were going to get spanked. That's why I said you were going to get spanked. And I wasn't even talking about 100%. But I tell you what, I'm going to call your bluff 100%. How about that, Trevor? 100%. I'm saying that.
I can talk now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I can say something now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, I just want you to stick to what you said.
I'm sticking to what I say.
Okay, so now everybody hears this again for like the 5th or 6th time.
Yeah, now this time I heard it, man.
All right.
Oh, boy.
You gave away the whole debate right there. That's the whole debate right there.
So what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, that turns out.
2 weeks?
I don't know about 2 weeks, man. You still gotta have the way. Why are you not trying to get your debate with Solar?
Hey, because Solar has,
no. Why you not trying to get your debate with
Solar has not put me in the group. I don't have any way to get in contact with Asar. So
I've told you, get in touch with Solar. Call Solar until he puts you in the group.
I should call Solar right on the air right now. I have my thing hooked up.
He was in the chat earlier.
Yeah, he was in the chat. Yeah.
Can't think of the link if he's still there.
I think Solar wanted to talk about the whole SVDL Lions Den situation. He's really hyped about that. I wanted to get Yanga on here so we could just have a whole hold down with that, but I wanted to make sure y'all, have y'all.
Now what's going on?
What's up? Oh, so
the Lions Den.
Yeah, the Lions Den called out SVDL.
Oh man.
Yeah. So they called us out, and so Solar called me and Yanga last night and said, "Yeah, man, they calling us out." So yeah, they want to have a league versus league, I guess. I'm guessing.
So hold on, wait a minute. Does Lions Den have a new channel? Because I ain't seen the Lions Den debate in a minute.
They just had one a couple days ago. Was Jesus a nigger?
What the hell?
Yeah, and that's what Solar want to have, like that type of shit.
So hold on, wait a minute. Let's back up. So the actual title of the debate,
Dr. Inky debated some other dude. Was Jesus a
Dr.
nigger?
Inky?
Exactly. Because I like JJ 7000, so I watch it every now and then.
So, but I thought I was subscribed to him. I haven't seen anything from.
Doesn't look like they, because they go live every single day, but they haven't been live in a while. But the last debate that they had was that with Dr. Inky against somebody else.
Damn. Shout out to Minister Inky, man. I met him in Atlanta. Shout out to Minister Inky, man. What the hell he doing on the Lions Den?
And that's I guess maybe him and Sarnett are probably beefing right now or something. Because if they weren't beefing, he would be over there.
I don't know that you know more than I do on that, Trevor. So I'm glad you here because I don't want to speak on nothing I don't know about. I definitely
I
don't
mean,
know about
it's the visual though. Like everybody, every now and then, everybody beefing with everybody, so they don't go to each other platforms. JJ 7000, and Sa always beefing with one another. So
no, I understand that, but I'm just
But
trying
he on his channel every other week.
yeah, but after they curse each other out, like that's what I'm saying. They just I don't know. There's some shit I'll never get used to. I don't know.
I thought the Lions Den was like starting at a farm system or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know exactly what was going on.
Nah, SVDL was his farm system. He was trying to pick everybody else from SVDL. That's what he was doing. Because JJ said that he was sending people over there, like he sent Nepal over there and stuff like that. But
what?
You know.
Well, I guess that's something y'all got to handle. I guess, huh?
That's what I'm trying. That's why I wanted Yanga and Solo on here to explain. Because I don't want to explain. I don't know. Like I said, they called me. I was half asleep, and then Yanga called me again and was like, "Well, what we'll do? We'll have a show tonight. His damn ride got postponed, so he wasn't able to make it tonight. So, and then I saw Solo in the chat, so I said, you know what? I will just hold off because I don't know what's going on. But just from what I understand, they thrown down the gauntlet. I guess league for league. I'm guessing. So I don't know. I don't know the logistics of it. And Trevor's telling me more about it. I don't do Bible debate leagues. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm a truck driver. I got to stay awake. You know how that is. I can't do. Yeah, I can't be around things that'll put me to sleep, man. I don't know. I got to be awoke. So I don't know if those are the kind of debates they doing, then I'm not going to be over there.
But that's all but it's a Hebrew channel. That's all they do.
And I get it. And that's probably why I've never been over there. I'm not, I'm taking your word 100%, Trevor. I get it. And I trust me. I believe you on, because that's all they've been doing for the last 20 years on YouTube.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Along with Signator. That's what they've been doing for the last 20 years. I've been doing this longer than a lot of y'all even knew about YouTube. Like I said, I was there from the inception. I was there when y'all don't even remember when Sadie used to do videos behind a shower door and shit. He would never show his face. I remember them days.
See, JJ, the Lions Den channel may be flagged right now because all they're showing are videos from like 3 and 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that because I know I'm subscribed to him, but like I said, I haven't seen it in a long time.
They may have got flagged for that debate. Was Jesus a nigger? Like that's probably why it got flagged.
Oh, you can't use that? You can't use the N-word, really?
No, somebody probably got offended by that.
You know how many people, I ain't gonna even go there because
people probably got offended.
But Trevor didn't say nigger. Trevor said nigger.
Yeah, he said, it was. I think they blocked it out though. From what I remember, I think they did the @ sign for it. But yeah, man, I don't know. But he probably got suspended for a little bit because if you go on his channel,
right,
everything they're showing is from like a year ago, 4 years ago.
So wait a minute. You just said you just saw a debate there recently.
A couple of days ago. So he may have got flagged a couple of days ago.
Okay, got you.
Because you see, Judah Naz hasn't been live in a while. So all these people may have got flagged for something.
Wow.
I don't know what the flag. What when you get flagged? How long you get suspended for?
Okay, so
I don't know how this shit works.
I read the rules. So your first strike, you're suspended for a week. Your second strike, you're suspended for I think 3 weeks or 90. You know what? I got to look.
I think the first strike they don't stop you from going live. They demonetize you for like a couple days.
Yeah.
But what if you're not monetized?
But yeah, you can still upload though.
Blackson was suspended where he couldn't go live for a while.
Yeah, remember I talked about J6 and they suspended me. So I can go on YouTube, but I couldn't go live because I talked about J6.
because I got four copyright claims right now. So
no. Copyright is different. No. Copyrights and strikes are two different things. Copyright, I could play like some music and they say, okay, that's a copyright strike. I can't make money off of it, but you can play. I learned this from Blue. You can actually play music and they can give you 100 copyright strike. It won't be a strike. Now a strike is talking about something political, like J6 and you have
to please the YouTube gods.
Right. Basically, or it was a fixed, whatever 2000. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, me, I was on my Trump kick, and then they struck me. They gave me a strike. I was like, no, you're giving me misinformation, blah blah blah. And I was like, I was talking about J6, but I can't mention J6. Okay, so there you go. And I was struck for that shit. Yeah, that was actually a strike. They gave me a strike. But no, copyright, you can have like Blue has 100 copyright claims, but no strikes. So he just can't make money, but he can still go live. Does that make sense?
So if you say, because I use the F word a lot, and I'm not talking about
curse.
I'm not talking about the curse word though. I use that a lot. Because iHeartRadio has even sent me something saying that I need to tone that down with my podcast. So I'll probably never get monetized on YouTube because I say all type of reckless shit.
It's weird because go ahead, Zanzi. I was going to comment.
I was just agreeing with him that it's hard to get monetized on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't come on YouTube to be monetized. If it happens, it happens. I come on it to make people scared like Blackson, and they try to back their way out of debates with me.
No, I'm saying I'm not. You know what? If you want me to say 100%, I'll say 100%.
Blackson, you gotta understand the type. Venkat is in the chat. Venkat knows how I am, man. I'll just keep pecking at you to make you just.
No, that's fine.
Be like, man, you know what? Let me shut him up. That's what I want you to do. Say, let me shut him up.
No, I like it. I mean, but when you saw, I'm gonna just say this: you didn't have nobody to refute Dr. Ann McGee because she's the top person. So I already know you didn't have nobody to match her.
I didn't at the time because I didn't know that's who you was bringing. I mean, I'm still trying.
I thought you said how I was gonna come.
No, I knew what angle you were gonna come as far as trying to bring everybody but who I'm talking about.
Right, but I was going to bring them to show a pattern because in order to explain. Oh, go ahead.
No. I want you to finish because I want to ask you about that, about what Trevor's talking about.
Okay. So.
Okay. Go ahead.
No. All I was saying, MD, was that the debate I was going to show a pattern. I'm bringing in other people to show a pattern because that's how science works. I was just going to go based on Dr. Ann McGee's work. And she said, because he kept saying no, Trevor kept saying nobody else has done this. Chris Benoit is the worst case.
Spell her name too, because I can't find her.
Dr. Dr. Ann McKee, MCKEE.
Okay, KEE. Okay.
Yeah, she's the top dog. Yeah.
So how did you put Aaron Hernandez in all of that?
Zanzi trying to help him out.
No.
Aaron Hernandez had CTE.
Aaron Hernandez. Yeah, he had CTE. Yes, he was at stage 4.
Aaron Hernandez was a poser.
Yeah,
so but MD,
he was a poser gangster, right?
But all the people that he killed, we supposed to absolve him because he had CTE.
Well, first of all,
nobody said that though. I just asked you if you knew Aaron Hernandez, and you said yes. I didn't even present why I brought him up.
I didn't know the other guy. I know who Hernandez is.
First of all, you didn't know Aaron Hernandez. You didn't know Mr. Phillips. I
did know Hernandez. I didn't know the other guy.
Okay, you didn't know the other guy. But I had some other people in that list that you didn't know about, brother. And that fits in the category. I had people in category 3s and I had people in category 4s. And there are a list of people you did not know were in category 4s that committed way more murders than Chris Benoit. You didn't know Phillips killed 9 people. You didn't know that. He murdered 9 people. And his, even though his was less severe than Chris Benoit. He murdered 9 people. And you talk about a mild-mannered guy, he was mild-mannered up until he goddamn committed the murders. And he just, and it's funny because he said something is wrong with me and he seeked out help. He wanted to get help before he goddamn murdered. He said he doesn't trust himself with a gun. And he went out and goddamn snapped and murdered 9 people. That's Mr. Phillips, Trevor. And his brain wasn't as bad as Chris Benoit, but he was still stage 4. But Chris Benoit was the worst. But and Chris Benoit didn't even, he only killed himself, his child, and his wife.
So thank God.
So what about Mr. Phillips? Mr. Phillips wasn't as bad. It wasn't as severe, but he killed 9 people. And he said he was trying to get help. This man was crying out for help before he took out 9 people.
So you're saying Chris Benoit was crying out for help too?
No, I'm saying Mr. Phillips, who killed more people than Chris Benoit, cried out for help. He murdered 9 people he didn't even know.
I'm saying, yes, he was crying out for help. He just did it in a silent way. The diary should show you that.
He was writing sad poetry about how he was feeling confused and angry.
No, he was writing poetry how he missed Eddie Guerrero. let's not no, call it what it is. He was writing poetry of how he missed his friend. That's what it was. That he thinks about him. He thinks about him every day, and he's gonna see him soon, and all that type of shit. So don't no.
So that's not a weird way of crying out for help.
No, I didn't say he wasn't crying out for help.
Okay. Just in and of itself, and I'm not gonna call it any infatuation because they were truly like close friends. So I'm not gonna call it infatuation, but you don't see the weirdness of it all, like how
I do.
Massively devastating it was for him to lose what could have been like the anchor in reality, which was Eddie Guerrero. That's how I'm looking at it.
So let me paint a picture here. When he God, I need to know how my mic sound, man. When him and his wife separated the year before it happened, and she agreed to come back to him, what's to say that I can't just say that he was plotting it ever since then? After she agreed to leave him, and then he convinced her to come back, and this all happened a year before. I could easily say that, hey, this whole time
you have evidence of
he was plotting
from that point, though. If you don't, then it's just speculation, right?
I mean, do you have evidence? Do you have evidence that the CTE was 100%?
That's why it's a great debate. Nobody has any evidence.
That's what I'm saying. All of this shit is, you can't prove it. That's why I'm even willing to tell Blackson, let's don't make it no points or nothing.
Are not the same thing, right? Evidence are strong indication and supporting facts or supporting documents, or whilst so proof is something that definitely proves something. Now, I didn't ask you if you had proof that he committed that. Do you have evidence that he did? Because if you have any kind of evidence, that can be used to further the point. But if you have no evidence, and then we're not even talking about having no proof, right? Just
look at the way he killed them. I mean, it would have almost been better if he would have just shot them or something like that.
I don't know how he killed them.
Go look it up.
Are you able to join? Because I don't know if he's still at work.
Hell no. I'm not gonna have all y'all against me on here. He suffocated his wife and then put his son in basically his wrestling move. Now Vancat's gonna tell me, oh, you don't have proof of that. Well, I mean, the medical examiner showed
that's not proof of premeditation, though. That's
Zanzi, it happened over a 3-day period.
Still no proof of premeditation.
I give up. I'm done. I give up. I give up. I mean, because I'm clearly dealing with people that's going to try to make every excuse in the world for this guy.
That's what
trying to make excuse for anybody, Trevor. I'm just asking for evidence of premeditation. But premeditation means
premeditation is not the debate, though.
No, but that's the question I'm asking you right now. If you don't want to answer it, that's fine. But we're not debating. We're not doing the debate right now. We're just having a discussion, right? So,
right, to get an understanding, Trevor. That's all he wants. That's all Zanzi wants. And
you brought up premeditation. I asked if you had evidence of premeditation. If you have, but you don't want to share them, fine. If you don't, because it's not the debate, fine also, right?
Zanzi, that was going to be an entertainment factor. He was going to entertain everybody with the damn murder and I already see where he was going with it. And hey, props out to you, Trevor. Don't use that tactic, but yeah, it wasn't. He ain't got no proof. Zanzi, he ain't got no proof.
It was basically premeditation, but he might have proved that patterns of behavior that this guy had indicate that CTE is not the main factor, right? I'm eager to see all this, because I assume that the information that Trevor didn't want it to share 2 hours ago, he haven't shared yet. So I'm assuming there's still a secret rug pull of information.
Man, so we didn't even get into, because me and MD was supposed to have a conversation. MD, my friend was on earlier before you got on. She gonna try to come back next week. I wanted to ask Blackson a question about his live earlier. I mean, man, yeah. I get it though. Y'all ain't gonna rattle me. Nah, your stance seemed to change. You seem to be coming over to the dark side just by some of the words that you were saying.
Wait. What did I say earlier that triggered you, brother?
No, nothing triggered me. You heard what I said. You seem to be coming over to the dark side, my side.
Okay. I was talking about. Okay, in fact, I'm glad MD said
some of those words you were. Some of those words you were using is like something that I would say, and I've never heard you talk like that.
Oh, you didn't watch? You never watched the old arena? Because
you don't. You white son. You don't call people crackers and stuff like that.
Listen. Again, I'm gonna tell you, because Yanga, he was like, "Yep, that's the old black son." You, my friend, are new to YouTube. If you go back in the archives, what I did today was vintage the arena Comcast Black Sun. Okay, I'm talking about Dr. Khalid Mohammed. Yeah. Remember that. You got to do your research on who Black Sun is. Like, yo, bro, you don't. Yeah, that was vintage Black Sun today. That was Black Sun tapping into Black Power, goddamn harassing white people. That was that Black Sun. So
what brought about the change then? Because whenever I talk like that, you tell me that I'm crazy and stuff.
No. Let me explain something to you. Black Sun, first of all, I don't just do Black YouTube. Okay, that clip that I showed, I'm there 90% of the time. That WION, goddamn Hackistan, and I'm debating on what's my favorite topic, people, Putin. Okay, and I'm constantly going at it with white folks, and it just so happened I saw 4 other Black people on a site that I don't never see Black people on. They were on WAION. Okay, this is a goddamn Pakistani station. And I saw a Hebrew brother in there, a Hebrew sister, another Hebrew brother in there. And I was impressed. I saw them brothers and sisters, and they were not talking about no Bible shit. They were talking about goddamn Ukrainian Constitution. They were talking my language. And we were spanking them crackers left and right, and it felt good. I'm like, damn, finally. But yeah, that's old vintage Black Sun right there, brother. Yeah, that's old vintage Black Sun. So that what you saw today was the old school Black Sun. I get on here and I troll y'all with White Sun because I'm trying to get at y'all out of that damn Bible. That's the white man's book. The goddamn Quran is the Arab's book. It is what it is, but it is what it is. But no, when you want to really get me into some like real debates and some real goddamn that Russia thing right now, that's hot. That's hot because you got a nation that we're watching two nations, two republics being born. That to me as a revolutionary means a lot. That means a lot to me. You know, if you study people like Malcolm X or Dr. Khalid Muhammad, if you study any of the black nationalists, they are real hard on separation. They're real hard on nation building. And then when you got somebody who's doing it, regardless of their race or nationality, you tend to appreciate. And so, yeah, you know, I just, yeah, that's where I'm at, man. I really don't, you know, that's why I don't do Bible debates because it ain't got nothing to do with us. That's a book that y'all, that the Hebrew Israelites adapted and forced themselves into it. We're not Hebrews. Them people are not Africans. Goddamn Jesus was not fucking African. None of them people were African. So we're not Hebrews. We're not fucking Jews. We're not fucking Muslims. We're none of those people. All those people are fucking Arabs. They're Saudi Arabia, Persia, fucking Bahrain. Those are those people.
But wait a minute, Black Son. Jesus was able to hide in Egypt, wasn't he? Oh, you like
I know. And that's why, but you know,
with his Mediterranean ass, just like the rest of them.
Right. Thank you, Big Cat. You know, that's why I gotta have you and Nature Mom on the same show because, yo, man, when I say black people, and this is gonna sound strange to y'all, her brain has to kind of come into terms because she's seen black Asians. She's seen black Arabs. Like there are people with our skin color that are darker than us, but they're not us. So when you say black, when you say black to Nature Mom, she has to kind of like go back into America mode and shit because she's so used to seeing people darker than her that are not our people.
You know what's crazy? Like a lot of the Afrocentrics talk about how, you know, this concept of Jesus and how it was a culmination of different ideologies from around the world, but it was never black.
Right.
But they escaped from the fact that one particular part of that story where Jesus was in Egypt.
Yes.
So you gonna have to come up with a time frame of when did the color change in Egypt? Because like I said, from my research and my understanding, except for you know, that central eastern part of Africa that was able to travel up toward Egypt, I'm going with Mediterranean. Now, right. Of course, like, yeah, Mediterranean is not a race. I understand that.
Right.
But we know what we're talking about when we say Mediterranean.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And not only
so
we know what you're saying.
That's just me.
Right. Not only I want to add to that, we know genotypes. I mean, we can say, oh, well, you know, race, but the genotype, you know, when you talk about genotype, you talk about hair texture, and people argue, say, oh, black people got so many hair textures. No.
Bullshit.
Right, exactly. Right. So what I'm saying is that we're more American than we are the people of the Bible. I stick by that. That's a debate I love there. We're more American than anything. A lot of the freedoms that we have is because of the freedoms that our people as black people fought for. And we've been in every major war, Revolutionary War, Civil War, goddamn, every war we've been in.
Right.
So
that's another debate I would love to see.
Yeah. Like
are black Americans the only ethnic group in the world to ever call themselves black?
Hello.
Yeah.
I would love to see that debate.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kasu.
Yeah, people across the world don't refer to themselves as black.
Wait, say that again, Trevor. I'm sorry.
People across the world don't refer to themselves as black, like the term black.
Again, shout out to Kansu. He'll hear it later on.
All right. Well, I want to welcome Venkat, man. Venkat, what's going on, man? What's going on?
What's going on, Blackson?
Trevor didn't want me to bring you on because he felt like he's gonna be. He's gonna be.
I heard you say if I could come on. I was like in between work and traveling home, but I just figured I'd just come on for a little bit. I can't stay long, but I'm just listening to the conversation. It's a great conversation.
So,
except everything Trevor said, right?
I didn't catch most. Like I was in and out the stream. I didn't hear everything.
So I found the missing link to the arguments about the CTE, which I was going to bring in, Ben Cat. But what Trevor didn't understand, what I wanted to bring in, there's different stages of CTE. And according to the top neurologists in the country, in the Western world, this excludes China and Russia, the top neurologists in the Western world said that Chris Benoit had the worst case. Worse than Mr. Phillips, who murdered 9 people. His case was worse than that. This is from the top neurologist in the country, Dr. Ann McKee.
Well, of course. I mean, if he's wrestling all those days out of the year, getting those hits, it's very easy to see why he would have the worst. That's not a hard thing to sell.
Right. And not only did he have the worst, he hit the direct, this is according to Dr. Ann McGee, he hit constantly the part of the brain that controls your emotion, your anger, and your judgment. Direct hits. Direct hits. That's why he is the worst. And it was only in one area. It was all around his brain. Venkat.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah.
His condition was worse than the Mr. Phillips who went out and shot 9 people.
Right.
Stage 4.
I think also you can't really judge like the amount of people they kill because I think it has to do with proximity and availability of who's around them and at the moment, you know. So like Chris Benoit may have only killed those people because they were who were there. But had he had opportunity, if more people were around, he probably would have continued killing. And God knows how high that number could be. Just like that Mr. Phillips, that 9 might have only been 2 if there was only 2 around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's just the way the things work. I don't even think that it's a real way you could judge the level of evil or what you want to call these people, which, again, it's a brain issue. And when there's
Aaron Hernandez was also stage 4.
Oh, the Night Stalker?
No.
Aaron,
the football player.
Okay.
Hey, Venkat, you know what I'm trying to listen for. So tell me how my mic sounds because I hooked it up a different way. So I want to know
you sound crystal clear.
If it sounds, that's why I keep asking them. I want to know because I'm trying to do my podcast a different way. So I'm running my interface through my computer. So I want to know how it sounds to you guys because I can't tell.
No, you sound great.
It does sound like my podcast quality. Okay, good. And I gotta go, but I want to Blackson. I'm gonna hit you with this. I've been sitting here the whole time quiet because I've been looking at this Dr. Ann that you keep bragging about. Yes. You fail to mention that the majority of her research is on NFL player brains.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay. And I am I lying? Am I lying?
She observed they brought her in as the head.
Am I lying?
Wait. Said no, you're lying. I'm gonna say yes, you're lying, just to slow you down so I can get in that they brought her in.
I swear this
motherfucker and she stated, I'll be again, that Chris Benoit's was the worst case. What are we missing here, sir?
And I've been sitting here this whole time, and I have
enjoyed the NFL.
I have yet to see a link between her and Chris Benoit. So if you have that, please send me that because I'm still trying to find a link between the two. All I'm seeing, they call her the NFL brain doctor because she's carved over 106 brains and she looked at 202 of them. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out what is she saying different from what anybody else is saying. And I can't find a link between her and Benoit. I can't find anything where she says that he had level 4.
Look up.
Nothing.
Look up. No, he's stage 4. Look up him having stage 4 and him being the worst case. It's on record. He is the worst case.
I mean, I'm looking. I've been sitting here the whole time looking.
Keep looking, because I found it. I had no problem finding it. But
Venkat, my mic is good, so I could fire up an episode just like this if I needed to.
Oh, that's great. What I was trying to tell you the other day is that you can make your episodes and then you can premiere them live. So you can have pre-recorded content and premiere them live on whatever date or time you determine. So it's kind of, so it's not live telecast, but your shows aren't really live anyway. So now you can have them YouTube premiered, and it makes more of an event feel around it. And you can have a big premiere every time a new episode comes, instead of just dropping your episodes in the dead of night. You know what I mean? Like you can have it. You can have it anticipated. You can have it anticipated.
Like 5 or 6 at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that is just because of the time factor. And then if I ever could get a debate in,
but that's the beauty about YouTube Premiere. You can schedule up everything. You could if you have 10 episodes, you can have them drop whatever time you want, and you'll have it all uploaded, and then it'll drop when you put it to drop. So that's a better advantage for you.
The thing that you sent me today for my next show. Which one could I use? Because one was like a thumbnail and one was a poster. So which one could I use on YouTube to do a premiere? Like how you do with Blackson, you'll do. That's the other thing I was trying to tell you. It's like it's not me really doing that. It's the StreamYard. So when you set up a show that you want to post, it just takes all the information and then it automatically kind of like sets that post up. I don't actually do it. That's what I was trying to tell you too. But I mean, you could use either one, because when I did some live YouTube premieres for like videos that I made for fish, fan made videos, I was using the thumbnails. But you could use any image. I guess it depends on what you want to do. Whatever you want to do, whichever ones you like best. And I'm not done. I'm still working out more things, and I want to cut a trailer for your channel. I need a new.
You're the one who's been doing all those intros videos and those images.
Yeah.
Well,
congratulations, man! You upped the production value significantly.
Trying to tell you,
I appreciate you.
Man, it's awesome, man. I've been doing this shit ever since I known him. So what I was gonna say too, because my daughter already came in here. It's 8:00. Zanzi, like I tell you and Blackson, I'm an arguer by nature. So when I log off of here, it ain't never a hard field. If you guys fire up tomorrow, I'll be right here. So it's never a hard feeling. I just think like you guys just kind of.
Do you argue just for the argument's sake, or do you try to find a solution?
It depends. It depends what we're arguing. Something like this. I want to get more than one point of view out there, just because I was presented with a point when Venkat presented me with his point of view. I had never heard that before. So I was like, I thought everybody was on the side that I was on. But when I present it to you guys and you're like, well, yeah, I kind of agree with him. I'm like, what? Like, wait, what? No, I really got to get my message out there. So some things I'll argue just to argue about. But in this event, I want to argue and bring out the facts. I want to bring out the timeline. I want to bring out the facts. But I mean, you let Zanzi talk you out of it. So.
No, Zanzi knew nothing about my research. Zanzi just happened to mention Aaron Hernandez, who I already had in my research. I don't know if Zanzi mentioned Mr. Phillips. I don't know if Zanzi mentioned the stages or Dr. Ann McGee. No, I don't think Zanzi mentioned all that. I think you guys.
I mentioned Philip Adams.
Yeah.
Philip Adams.
Okay,
Yes.
that's cool, but I've already had that information. But
Hernandez, though, I asked Trevor if he knew him, but ultimately, Hernandez, I would have presented him as someone whose city is not the main contributing factor, as opposed to Philip Adams, which I think
Right.
that might be said for him, right? So, anyways, I haven't tried to influence anyone's position. I tried to address this little part of Trevor's argument, which he addressed perfectly, and tried to precise what the nature of the title was. But Blackson made it clear that now it's 100% the question, so that's going to be interesting.
I mean, just for the sake of to satisfy
Nah.
Mr. Trevor here, because he takes a word and he ran with it. I said majority, he ran with it as 100%. So I'm just like, no, I didn't say that, but for the sake of okay. But and I gave him most of my debate. So you saying that Dr. Ann McKee didn't say that? I will bring the goddamn charts that she said.
No, I asked you, where are you seeing it? Maybe you got something that I can't find.
Oh, maybe it's in my medical journals.
Yeah, hey, I wouldn't put it past you. Hey, listen, bring all that. Bring all that.
You know what?
Bring
And I
all
blame
that.
Nature Mom. No, she be giving me some journals. I guess you can't really pull up on the internet, but yeah, know what? Maybe they're the medical journals.
More power to you.
But
More power to you then.
But you should already know I'm gonna bring medical journals. You said you know my style.
But your source, if you present a source though, I should be able to access it easily. Isn't that part of the rules? You can't just say, "Oh, I got blah 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 source," and nobody can find it but you.
I disagree with that.
No, I'm asking you, isn't that how it works? Because you can't say you got a source.
No, I'm asking you. No. If I have a source and the book costs me, okay, so Unc has this book on viruses, and it costs $200. I spent $200. You're not willing to spend $200. Is that?
You still should be able to put a page up or something so we can see it, right?
You can do that with medical journals. You can do that with medical journals. You can put up pages. Yes, you can. Yeah. And I was going to do that on the slides. Yeah, that's what I do with the slides. Like I said, the slides are not my favorite part of the debate. My favorite part of the debate are the rebuttals and the rapid fire. I do the goddamn slides so you guys can see the medical journals and where I get my information to legitimize my debate. Where I start cooking is the goddamn rapid fire. That's where I start cooking. You were gonna get cooked. Just like in this
2 weeks, Blackson, 2 weeks.
No. You get in the chat and you get your debates lined up, like you said, with a SAR. Do that. Do the proper channels. Come on, let's not do that. Come on now.
You could say it, but I'm not.
Well, fellas, again, it's been great.
Trevor, real quick. Did you get the video? Did you see that I sent the Wednesday Wrestling Wednesday video?
Yeah, I didn't. Let me download it now. I didn't even
So this would be a good test, like what I was saying. So you can upload that video and make it a YouTube premiere on your channel.
But don't just hit publish now, though.
Right. Don't hit right.
Okay.
And you could set the day, the time. And then it's also neat too because you have like a little intro countdown that you can select. There's a lot of neat stuff there you can do. It's pretty cool. But make it a YouTube premiere. If you want, let me know, and then I'll like whenever you try to do it, and then I can try to help you through it. But it's not hard.
All right, MD, did you see Muda's last match? The one with him and Sting and Darby Allin.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it. I saw like a little bit of highlights of it.
All right, well, y'all stay because Vancat named the segment Trevor's soapbox moment. So I'm gonna review AEW that I watched last Wednesday, and I think y'all will be shocked by what I got to say about it. So anyway,
is it gonna be Trevor speaking or the heel minister speaking?
It's gonna be the heel minister speaking.
Oh Lord.
but and then the Royal Rumble is this Saturday, so that's
I'm actually looking forward to this Royal Rumble, even though last year sucked. I watched that one last year, but I'm looking forward to this one.
Royal Rumble's my favorite.
Yeah, that's my favorite event. So yeah, so my daughter, she's standing at the door. It's time to go watch Monday Night Raw. So I'll catch you guys Wednesday. Blackson, if you fire up the show, if you fire up a truck show, email me, man. Let me know because I'm pretty sure you're gonna fire up one tomorrow to talk shit. So
Okay.
and if I could get away at work, I'm gonna jump on. But my headset been tripping, so I don't know.
If I'm not derailed by any of the drama on YouTube, I'll do that. You know how easy it is.
Yeah, hey, listen, I watched the video with your name in it just for shits and giggles. Oh boy,
I know.
All right, fellas, MD, we still gotta have that conversation. I guess next week. The PTSD.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Yeah. Everybody been calling me. I've been jumping in and out, man. We'll chop it up.
So and Zanzi is always a pleasure, buddy.
Absolutely, man.
All right, see you guys.
Peace.
All right.
Yeah, Blackson, I'm gonna head out too. I just got home, so I'm gonna head out now.
Okay,
All right.
I'll see you on Wednesday. All right.
All right, MD. All right, Zanzi.
All right, peace.
All right. So, oh man, that was rough. Goodness gracious, that was rough. Oh
Well,
my God.
think we clarified some stuff, and it was an interesting discussion. It weeded out
It did.
I think the weakest arguments, and the debate is just going to be more interesting for it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it actually makes for a stronger debate because I was like, hold on now, wait, but now, but now that I gave some stuff away, he can try to refute it, but again, I can still build a case. I mean, it's still there, you know what I'm saying? The whole but I see where now he's coming from. He's going to come with the steroid angle. Okay, that's cool. But I like how MD broke it down. You know what I'm saying? If you go out, you do a certain thing, you get drunk, and that drunkenness might push you to the edge to commit a crime or jump a fence or something like that. And what I'm saying is that CTE pushes that physical, that it pushes that like where you can't even control it now because parts of your brain are damaged, and they have this thing called PTA. PTA is a brain fluid, just like how we get in the shower and clean ourselves, the brain cleanses itself of old PTA fluids. And when you damage yourself, those fluids are not allowed to clean yourself. And that's what clean itself, and that's what allows you to get to the stage 3s and the stage 4s. And that's what causes the deterioration because now the PTA fluid is becoming acidic.
I don't know about that, but
just
it's gonna be interesting to see what you research. So is it set in 2 weeks, or are you?
No. I'm still trying to understand why Trevor keeps I keep telling him contact Solar, have Solar put him.
Can't you? I mean, whatever group chat he's not in, can't you invite him in, or can't you?
No. Solar has to do that. Solar has to do that. Solar has to do that. If I could, I would, but I think that's all Solar right there. So Solar, if you're
so only him can set up the date. You can.
What you mean as far as the debate date?
Yeah, only Trevor can set the date, not you.
No. We can both set the date, but we have to agree on it. But I'm telling Trevor, get his debate that he already committed to Asar first, just like I have a debate.
Okay. Before debating you, he has to debate Asar.
Yes, and I have to debate KOT.
Right.
That's what, Trevor's missing that. He's bypassing all these other debaters that are already set up. Him and Asar already got a debate. Me and KOT have got a debate. He's gotta wait in line. He can't just I'm VIP, I'm Trevor, I'm gonna skip the line. No, you can't do that.
I would be okay with it because there's not often debates on Solar Vision. There seems to be a lot of people the rescheduling apparently, like they were saying. So
right.
You and KOTs, when is it?
Well, we got to get our title down and improved, but we're gonna the title so far, which is who is the greatest general, is that Pope Sylvester V or Ulysses S. Grant. I'm going with Ulysses S. Grant.
Pope Sylvester was a general?
I guess he was in his time, I guess.
All right. I never
So
knew that a pope was a general. That's gonna be interesting.
we're going to learn.
Yeah.
That's why I think that's going to be a good debate. And I don't want to bypass that because just like I've done research for that, I've done research, just like I've done research for this CT debate, I've done research on Grant. And I want to get that out of the way. And I think that Trevor and Asar need to get their debate out of the way. I don't think we need to be jumping and over, no, we don't need to be doing that. No.
Yeah. Well, however, you guys get into contact with each other, man, get your. I'm really eager to see the Trevor's first debate on this video. That's for
Right.
sure.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm trying to get him in the group side because I think his first debate will be a better matchup with, I think it'll go flow easier because both Trevor and Asar are both wrestling fans, and that's something that they're both comfortable in. If he debates me, he's going to be debating. I'm going to have all the medical journal. He's not. That's going to be a one-sided debate. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell him, but he's already it's going to be one-sided. And just like he was surprised last night about Dr. Ann McGee, like I'm going just strictly on her work. She's the top dog. And I'm just going based on her notes and her work. That right there, he's going to be arguing with her, not me. I'm just presenting it.
Well, maybe a little bit
Trevor
of,
didn't even know there were
right.
stages. He didn't even know there were stages of CTE. He didn't know there were stages. That's number one. He would have got stuck right there. Number two, he didn't know who Dr. Ann McGee was. That would have stuck him. Yeah, that would have been a wash. That would have been a straight wash. So yeah, he would have got KO'd.
Right. So maybe a little bit of advice, piece of advice would be to not rest your entire case maybe on one neuroscientist's appreciation of the situation, right?
That was
because at the end of the day, yes, your medical journal to show other cases with similar patterns is very important, but you have to be able to prove or to sustain your case with evidence that this was not his typical behavior, that this was a generalized behavior shift, mostly 100%. That 100% fueled those events, right? Remember that now you've taken up to prove that there were no other contributing factors, that the only cause is the brain damage that he sustained, right?
Well,
that's going to be a difficult question.
Zanzi, initially, I was not agreeing with I've never agreed to 100%. I'm just saying based on
no, Blackson, no, I won't let you out weasel of that while I'm on the stream.
No. You're not. See, no, you're taking something and running with it. What I'm saying was initially, I did not. But for the sake of entertainment, I'll do it. But what I'm saying is that I did not initially agree with 100% because, like you said, even science doesn't say 100%. But based on the studies, on the direct hits, they're showing that it affected his judgment, the part that does judgment part of the brain, and the anger, the judgment, the anger, and there's something else. It was some other damn factor that was completely damaged. He was the worst case. So again, it's ridiculous to get on me here and say 100%, but I'll say 100%. That's a high risk because, like I said, it's not 100%. Nothing, like you said, in science, and I agree with that. I follow that 100%. Leave that. Nothing is 100%. That's what I follow 100%. That nothing is 100%. But I'm saying the patterns, the medical journals are all pointing to the CTE as a major factor. And that's what I said from the initial get-go. I said major. I'm changing 100% tonight. I didn't say that. I said major factor.
I haven't really researched this story, so I guess I'll see the evidence when you bring it up during the debate then.
Right. But yeah, but
I don't know much about wrestling or football for that matter, but I do know that it comes with a lot of head injuries, and that head injuries are not good for your general sense of self, personality, and social behavior. So
Right.
It's
Well, it's just like
yeah.
being under the influence of alcohol. Maybe alcohol can do something to cause you to do something, but you can say, well, you know what? You've always wanted to, I don't know, steal a candy bar because you got drunk one day, you stole a candy bar. What I'm saying is that now we back to that argument. Is the alcohol a major factor? Not 100%, but a major factor in that. Give you what they call it liquid courage. Like alcohol gives you liquid courage to go out and, I don't know, steal a car, or get in a fight, or go and talk to that woman at the bar. So what I'm saying is that a major factor?
I guess it depends on the people, on the context, on what other aspect of their life might have an effect on the action, the decisions. You
Right, but
know,
you know what's so weird about this conversation, me and him, or the debate? He was going to use steroids, and it's like, well, damn, are we actually saying the same thing? Because he's saying, okay, well, steroids could be a factor, and I was going to say the same thing. But what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, he's trying to look for an out to find any excuse aside from CTE. I'm saying even CTE can play a factor. I'm saying alcohol can play a factor. What I'm saying is that there's something there that can push your senses over the edge to make you more
yeah, but
angry, to make
to
you more.
be, if you're being honest, though, the debate could never have been in order to be a debate, right? It would never have been city is just having an effect, right? Because of course it does, right?
Right.
So the debate must have been it has a major effect, or it's 100% the cause, right? In which case, uh, y- citing other cases that present similarities, right?
Mhm.
That's evidence that yeah, city can lead to that, right? But if you look at the justice system, right,
Right.
most of those people have that survived, right? Or because there's not only those three people, right? There's more and more people that try to bring that into a legal defense, right?
Right. Right.
And it's never been recognized as such, right? So the justice system never considered the injury in itself to be major a cause enough to warrant uh, removing
Zanzi, the
responsibility
lawyers.
the same way that you would for someone with a developmental issue, right? Someone that's mentally ill and don't understand what they did, right? So it's from what I understand to some extent, mm, no case study to date would by itself constitute a proof or an evidence, a BR evidence that CT is a main factor in such an event, right? It's an important one to show that if you can recognize a pattern of behavior that all started after injury for all those cases,
Right.
then you can definitely say, well, that helps to pinpoint when the injury kicked in, right? When the degenerative behavior kicked in, right? That's what case study would allow you to do, right? To
Right.
pinpoint in the timeline when did the erratic behavior due to the injury started, and did it bring about a significant change to what the behavior was before that point, right? Or was it just a little kick up, right? That is would indicate that it might not be the significant factor, right? That something that's involuntary could have been replicated by something voluntary. in the end, like being too drunk or being too high, right? So I think that um, if an injury, right, is significant enough to be the main cause, uh, if you're gonna use only case studies to try to prove that, you would need some kind of judgment that recognize that, right? Which I don't think you're gonna be able to have. So that's why I'm saying that just medical journal alone, I don't think would be enough. But
Now,
again, I'm not a judge, right? So,
no, no, no. I thought well what you said, but so let me ask you a question. So how long will we have to wait for attorney to decide to use, CTE as a legal defense? They may not do that for another 100 years. So do
no, they
we?
already did in the past. They all lost.
Okay, okay. So
That's what
because of the losses, so then let me ask you this: because of the losses, attorney might see that as a high risk, like what that's been done and it hasn't worked. But does that still stop the progress of science? Meaning that okay, we're
No,
doing
but
new studies.
science yet has not the power to prove definitely your point, right? So what you'd have to do is use behavior analysis, which I guess would
Right,
be a mix of psychology and I guess it would be neuropsychology, right?
right,
And or what you're trying to do, case studies, but that's a judicial, right? So if you can get the judicial, then you'd have to go with the neuroscience. And the neuroscience right now, I don't think is in a position to prove 100% definitively, right? That's not what science is trying to do. Science,
exactly
so
right, and that's
so,
not what I was
so
trying.
that's what you're trying to do, and you're trying to use science as an evidence. But in the debate, since you can't prove definitively anything, you can just disprove stuff using science. All you can do is try to mount
Show a
evidence
pattern.
that sustain your position, right? That's not something that would that you're going to be able to create a scientific theory around, but you just want to analyze his life, the events in his life, and try to see what's the determining factor in the events that occurred, right? And that's a criminal question, right?
Right.
And so it's the criminology behind it, and the impact of. Right. I've got a friend that wanted to be a criminologist, and she ended up becoming a lawyer instead, right? Because she wanted to help people. She wanted to understand crime, but she also wanted to help people. But she could have been a very good criminologist, and uh, crime as a science, right? It's still being understood, and we have no definitive answer on all to be sure what's the main contributing factor to a crime, right? Sometimes it's very clear, especially if someone confesses, right? But when someone never explained why they did something, when they're not in a position where um, they were monitored, right, where we don't have all the information that would allow us to make such determination, all we can do is have debates filled with speculation, a little bit like we're doing right now, and try to convince people and see where it leads. But like I've said, we can try and see what would be the main factor, but nobody's going to be able to put the percentage of it. So it's all going to be about what you consider to be indicative of the importance of CTE versus what he considers to be indicative of the importance. I think that the best way to do that,
I
in my
think so.
opinion, is analyzing the timeline and the change in behavior. If that's the way you go, that's going to be very interesting. And if it's not, I'm very eager to see what way you choose to go. Right? And in case I do have to go soon, though. Well,
All right, no problem.
yeah. But it was very nice to come and discuss that with you guys today.
Oh man, it was a good show, brother. It was a good show,
Very
man.
sorry that Trevor felt like I wanted to discourage you from the debate and change the
Oh no,
the,
no,
the
he was joking
goalpost,
around. No, no,
but that
no, he was
that was
joking
never
around.
my intention.
He
So
was
very
joking
sorry about
around. He was joking around. He wasn't serious. Yeah, he wasn't serious, but
that.
you know.
So you have a good one, man. I don't know if ND20 is still there, but you have a good one too, man. Peace.
All right, peace, Zanzi.
Yeah, I just got back in my truck. Peace, man.
No problem. Bye.
Yeah, man. So shit. Yeah, MD, man. Woo, man.
Yeah, like I said, man, the title doesn't need to be changed. It'll be a great discussion because
Absolutely.
both of y'all can debate on opposite corners and use the same timeline to do it. That's what'll make it a good debate.
Absolutely. I'm with that.
So that's what it is. But yeah, we can go and shut it down. I'm about to go take a shower and all that stuff. So
All right then. MD, man. So I'll see you on Wednesday.
yeah, I should be there.
Okay, cool deal. All right, y'all. All right, man. I want to give a shout out to MD. Shout out to Zanzi. Shout out to Vincat. Shout out to Trevor. Shout out to Gynocracy Takeover. Shout out to Twin. Shout out to Deacon. Shout out to Solar. Shout out to Manuski, the sister that came on. Shout out to her. And Zanzi. And that looks about it, y'all. All right, we out, y'all. We will see y'all Wednesday at, I think, 6:30. And with that being said, I will see y'all on Wednesday. Peace out.
Peace.
The Arena of Six.